competition time again, and here is a chance to win a brand new PS5. All you got to do is subscribe to On Track GP on YouTube.
Also follow us on Instagram at OnTrackGP. Make sure you like the competition post, it's pinned on Instagram as well.
You can win yourself this right now. What are you waiting for?
Can I enter, or can I have a go?
No.
Sunday, 8 p.m.
Miami Grand Prix.
We are having a party.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got Sand, we've got Sam. I'm Sam.
We've got all of us in the studio. It's going to be a great night.
We're ready to go, and we'll see you there. Here at On Track GP. See you.
Good afternoon, welcome back to DR Sports for another edition of the Saturday Football Show in the studio. Very good day today. Energy. Myself, AGT, we've got Fuad back in the hot seat. My co-host, we've got Big Uggs, and of course James Toon joining us on the Saturday Football Show today. How are we, gents?
Yes, bro.
Good.
Phenomenal.
Good
On
to see
such
you all
a
again.
majestic day for everyone.
Yes, well, these
Leeds.
are the four kings you want to be watching today. Trust
It is
me
the
when I
four
say
kings that you want to be watching today.
Absolutely.
And
Big
it's
up
the first
to
3 o'clock kickoff
It is.
that is going to be shown on TV since 1960.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
If you would like to win a PS5, I'd quite like to win one. I don't have one yet. Have you got one?
I ain't got one yet.
I ain't got one,
Please.
No, they're
So
impossible
maybe
to get my
we
hands
might
on.
have to enter this
Long
On Track
time ago.
GP competition as well. If you go on Instagram to get involved, check out the live watch along from the On Track GP team on the channel for the Miami Grand Prix tomorrow, 8 p.m. You can't miss it. We've got a link in the description for the channel, so make sure you go and follow. As you said, 3 o'clock kickoffs today. We've got them all covered for you. Bournemouth versus Chelsea. Can Chelsea finally get to 40 points today away at Bournemouth? Didn't go well for you there last week,
Yeah,
but
no need for
a
that.
chance for redemption.
No
away
need
at
for that, mate.
City today.
Redemption.
Are the mighty Leeds. Tottenham at home to Crystal Palace, and of course Wolves against Aston Villa as well. We're going to have a little look forward ahead to the Liverpool game later on in the show, and a lot of topics to get through throughout the afternoon as well. So if you've got anything that you'd like us to discuss, shout us in the comments, let us know. Remember to like the video and of course subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Very close to 290,000 subs now on YouTube, DR Sports, so make sure you get involved. Right, before we get into the team news, let's look ahead to the games today. Bournemouth-Chelsea, we'll get into that one first. This is an interesting game because Lampard could finally become the first ever 007 manager. 7 games, 7 defeats is on the cards
Has there never
for
been
him
one
today.
before?
No, it could be an even
Frank
worse
de Boer
start
didn't
than
last that
Frank de
long.
Boer as well. Or Les Reed at Charlton. He was only there for 40 days back in the day. It's knowledge. Yeah, just about.
that.
Just
Yeah.
about. So talk to
Showing
me
our
about
age.
this one. Yeah, a little bit. Well, Bournemouth-Chelsea. Bournemouth in high spirits, obviously, after beating Leeds. I mean, how many weeks in a row have we said that Chelsea are due a win, but they just keep losing?
It's definitely not against Bournemouth, I'll tell you that. 'Cause
Away as well.
I think Bournemouth have been almost like one of the underlying brilliant teams over the last couple of weeks. I think Gary O'Neill deserves massive credit as well.
Credit, yeah.
The way he came in as a caretaker, I think Christian Stellini, if you're watching, take note, because this is how a caretaker comes in, changes what was going wrong. You got to remember Scott Parker at the start of the season was saying the squad is not good enough to stay in the league.
Facts.
He's come in, implemented his tactics.
He's
and
been sacked from 2 jobs this year. So what does he know?
And if you saw the performance, trust me, I experienced it. Bournemouth 4-1 at home to us. Absolutely cooked us. And you saw a prime example of kind of what he's brought over the last couple of weeks. I think out of their last 5 results, they've won 4 of them. And the only one they lost, I think, was West Ham. But Leeds, they've won 6-pointers there. Southampton, 6-pointer. Leicester, 6-pointer. All the kind of big games in and around them over the last couple of weeks, they've taken results. So you have to give massive credit to Gary O'Neill and then the team's character as well, I think, during these last
But the difference now is they're safe, though. They're safe. They're safe and sailing, so they no longer have that pressure of relegation behind them. So how's that going to affect them going into Chelsea? That Leeds game pretty much guaranteed survival. I mean, I was watching it. It was basically like a celebration for them. They were partying in the streets. They were partying in the stands. Now against Chelsea, are they going to be able to pick them up? Because you see when teams get to that 39, 40 points point, they have nothing else to go for. There's no Europe to go for. There's no relegation. They usually just take their foot off the gas.
My
So-
thing is, I
Well,
think
they're both on 39 points.
it's
I
almost
think-
like, go on.
So I think what you're saying, that was the case before, but I think now in the league now, I feel like teams want to finish as high as possible. and obviously get
Like just to get the extra bit of money.
and also just to finish on a high. So I feel like this game against Chelsea, they will be looking at and thinking, you know what, we could actually like continue this run that they're in
and go above them.
Exactly.
So it's like, for me, I feel like Chelsea are almost there to be got at. How many seasons are you going to be able to say, yeah, we finished above Chelsea? It's like a lot of these teams now, I feel like one of the teams that you could possibly say is Fulham, I feel like have been like that since they've kind of Europe. They know they're not really going to get it. They've kind of coasted. They've lost a few home games.
Secured safety.
Yeah. They also had that Mitrovic
I feel
thing
like
that
it's still a little bit close. I know it's 9 points the gap now from relegation, but 4 games to go. I think you just want to end, as you said, on a high. And if you can get a scalp against Chelsea at home, listen, man, it's a nice start to the weekend.
Everyone had like them to go down after they lost to Liverpool 9-0. Everyone thought, you know what, they're going down first, innit? But they've turned it around. They've bought some decent signings in January, and you know, like they're playing for the coach, and that's what's important as well. Like,
and this is how they line up today. Neto, who's been an incredible addition to their squad. They're just replaying Jota's goal. There's me. You can literally see me, second row.
You can't.
Love it, man. No, I've literally seen myself.
That was last week.
Okay,
we're here this week, man.
I love that, bro. He loves it.
Good. I'm glad you pulled your hamstring. Yeah, good.
My G. Love this guy. Neto in goal. Adam Smith, Senesi, Kelly and Vigna at the back for Bournemouth. Rothwell and Lerma with Utara, Billing, Christie and Solanke.
I think some of their individuals as well. Lerma with the double last week. Solanke over the last couple of weeks.
Solanke stepped up a bit,
massive
helped
as well.
out.
And I think you said Neto, but Senesi at the back as well. The other time has been good as well. So
solid.
Some good players there, man.
Chelsea line up like this: Kepa in goal, Chalobah at right back, Thiago Silva, Badashile and Chilwell at the back. Kante, Enzo and Gallagher in midfield with Madueke, Havertz and Mudryk up front. Listen to this bench.
Mad, bro. Chelsea's
Kovacic, Pulisic, Felix, Loftus-Cheek, Mendy, Sterling, Ziyech, Aspilicueta and Hall.
No one doubts
that is
quality.
mental.
No, but that is why.
Mental.
But that is why they are where they are, because they've got too many players.
Yeah.
Too many players who believe that they should be starting, and then it's like they're not getting a run of games. So it's like you're putting £5 petrol in a car, and
in a Lambo,
in a Lambo, and you want that car to do long journeys, but it's stop-start, and these players aren't going to get a good run.
But not only that, some of them can't even get into the matchday squad. They had like 31 first-team players, and you can only pick 28. They had to even increase the size of their training facilities. They signed that many players. I don't know what the hell Todd Bowley's thinking.
Like game to game, though, every Chelsea fan, I'm sure, is just frustrated that there's nothing consistent since Lampard's come in.
It's just mad.
Like, I remember when Tom was here a couple of weeks ago, it was like, oh, Lampard's just here to kind of bring, I don't know, emotional connection between the fans and the players. It's a new batch of players. He's going to be the link between them. But you're not bringing that. You're not bringing tactics. You're not bringing select. I mean, Chalobah at right back today as the Reece James replacement.
Well, I mean, Frank Lampard couldn't link 2 Lego blocks together, mate, let alone a squad.
And let's just see how it kind of goes.
I think in his last 17 games, he's lost 16, Frank Lampard.
I thought it was 20, so 1 win in 20. And since
do you know who that win was against? It was against us, would you believe it, mate? That guy's made his entire career off beating Leeds in one game. One game he beats us. Dines out on it for years, man.
Sterling was being interviewed yesterday by Sky Sports, and he did admit that it was one of the lowest points in his career so far, his time at Chelsea. Let's get a score prediction for this one.
But just on that Sterling thing, I was just surprised that he went there in the first place. Like, I was disappointed that he went to Chelsea.
But he went to play with Tuchel, that's why. And he had a good relationship with him.
He felt like, I feel like he achieved everything he needed.
At Man City.
At Man City, I've won my titles. I've improved my game. I've got the goal scoring now. I'm at England doing bits as well. Now I want to be the face of a team, if you like. And Chelsea, let's be honest, at the time, you were hearing new ownership. He could kind of be the face of the new project. The problem was, I don't think anybody anticipated the 600 mil they were going to spend. And he's kind of, I think, been lost in the source of that a little bit. But how he recovers now is, for me, the interesting thing, because he's still, 27, 28?
Yeah,
he's still in the peak of his career. For me, it's a case of, do you really back yourself and say, do you know what, I'm out this summer. Let me go to Arsenal or something. Or do you really double down and say, I'm going to stay here and I'm actually going to be the guy who's the face of this team.
But 2 things on that, though. I feel like why I said because for his personal reasons. Obviously, what happened to him when he was playing for City at Chelsea, he got racially abused.
Yeah.
So I felt like he wasn't really going to get any love there, regardless of what he does, and people do scapegoat him. Secondly, I just feel like, the money that he's on now at Chelsea, do you think clubs are going to now want to pay that same money? And like him now go to Arsenal, I don't think so, because now he's on too much money. So it's either he's got to take a massive cut, or he just sits at Chelsea and hope things get better, and hope that he gets a manager who backs him and he believes in him.
Situation, man.
Score predictions.
Ooh.
I'm going
Chelsea.
1-1 draw.
Yeah.
1-1 draw as well.
I like what you're thinking, but I'm going to go for a Desmond. I'm going to go for a Desmond 2-2.
I'm going to go for a home win, 2-1.
Wow.
Do you know what?
I was thinking that, but I was like, I don't know.
Back-to-back
Alexa,
lines.
play James
I feel
Bond
like
theme tune.
they'll take
Yeah.
the draw if
Settings.
it's there.
I'm going to go forward 1-1.
1-0.
Yeah. 1-0
So
draw.
none of us
1-0
are
draw.
predicting a
For the first time, Alex is the only one without draw.
Listen, I haven't predicted
guy,
Chelsea
man,
winning
shut up.
months.
Well, listen, they're still not at 40 points. How many times have we heard Matisse say, "I'm just waiting until we get 40 points"?
Do you know, at
And
first
they're
year, it
still
was
not
like
there.
it was like a joke.
joke,
and you
innit?
thought,
Now it's
oh,
real,
yeah,
like.
yeah, you'll get that in
predicted
your
a
next
few things, actually,
mate.
Matisse,
It's
recently.
been months,
He
and
has
it's like,
predicted a
alright,
few
it's
things.
not even a joke
So
anymore.
like, where do you think this started? Like this Chelsea downfall? Like, where do you think it began?
When Todd Bowley strofed his way in and decided
Well,
to
no,
splash
realistically,
600
they haven't
million in
challenged for the
6
league
months.
for 6 years. So
No, but they won a Champions League.
Yeah, no, I know. But in terms of domestic fighting for titles, it probably stopped when Conte left. In terms
Yeah.
of them,
I think if you
being
look
in
at
the top two, top
even if
three.
you look at their recruitment over the past since 2017, there's
Been
been no
awful.
real consistency to it. Before Marina came in, it was guys like Zappa Costa and Morata getting overpaid, Kepa getting overpaid, and then after that it was no project youth, and then after that it was no, let's sign Lukaku for 100 million. Like there's been no, and now you've seen.
But
the
Chelsea
600
never
million,
had
so-
consistency. You can't have
No, no,
consistency
no,
when
no.
you're
But
bringing
what-
a new manager in
but
every
wait,
2 years or
what you
so.
always had at Chelsea though was a spine. For about 10 to 12 years at Chelsea, you had this incredible spine from John Terry's era,
Terry.
if you like,
Facts.
where you could
Cech,
rely on that.
Terry,
and then
Lampard,
once that
Drogba.
kind of faded out and it became Azpilicueta and Hazard's dressing room, if you like, guys like Willian were the leaders, that's where I feel like it just started to crumble a little bit. And now, backs are against the wall. The old thing Chelsea
So
always used to
around
be able to rely on.
2017 then.
Yeah,
Since
you hit the nail on the
6
head
years
when
ago, yeah.
Conte left, because
I
Conte,
think
I
that's-
feel
Yeah,
like,
but
was
Con-
the last manager who was iron-willed that
Yeah.
everybody
But they
universally respected.
capitulated before Conte came in at the end of Mourinho's last spell as well. So I think
That-
Conte was
that
more
was
of
like-
Conte was more of a papering over the cracks. If
That's the kind of
anything.
manager he is, though, isn't he? Anyway, let's move on. We've got loads of games to get through in terms of having a look at all of them first. Man City leads. Can Man City go back ahead of Arsenal at the top of the table? Well, they are back ahead of them, but can they actually stretch away a little bit? They've gone very strong today. Actually, have they? Akanji, Laporte and Ake at the back. Lewis and Gundogan in the double pivot with Mahrez on one side, Foden on the other, Alvarez, De Bruyne, and the magic man up front, Erling Haaland.
That's
50
a
goals.
very strong lineup, mate.
It
They dropped Edison midweek and they saved him for this game. Surprising actually because they got a European tie coming up, but they have gone full throttle.
Full whack.
And when you're coming up against Big Sam, you need to put everything
And
up
listen,
there, mate.
Leeds, new manager bounce, Big
Yeah.
Sam.
It's too late.
Were you, because, you know, we've made jokes about the Neil Warnocks, you know, great characters of football on this show before.
Yeah.
Neil Warnock just the other day in February took over Huddersfield, bottom of the championship. He's kept them
Yeah.
up. And sometimes they say that age of football is a bygone of a past era, but it still works. So can Big Sam in that same bracket,
Nah, it's over.
even himself saying that he's up there?
I mean,
with the
he
Peps,
said
the
it
Klopps.
himself. He
But
said he's
when-
better
what
than
my
Pep,
question
better than
was-
Klopp.
My question was, when you actually saw this rumour, were you in disbelief that that was something that could happen until you actually saw him with the shirt?
No, I wasn't in disbelief. I mean, it all happened within about 14 hours. Now, had you said this 15 months ago, yeah, I would have spat in your face. If you told me we were going to go from Bielsa ball to Brexit ball
Facts.
in the
Facts.
space of just over a year, well, then I would have been a bit sick and I wouldn't have seen it coming. But the way things have gone over these past 3 months, I mean, the whole season under Jesse Marsch, but Javi Gracia's come in. Oh my God, it's the most rotten stuff I've ever seen. How are you going to concede 21 goals in a month? That is the worst in
record,
Premier
isn't
League
it?
history. Yeah, it's a record. Worst
Breaking
goals in Premier League.
records out
We
there.
conceded more goals than Spurs.
6 of them
And
were
then-
at Anfield.
You're
I mean,
worse.
Six against you.
Mate, you're
5
bottom
against
feeders.
Palace.
Please relax.
I mean, come on, man. When you're doing worse than Spurs,
That shows you
in
where
their
you
bad
are,
place,
though.
That shows the
Hey,
level.
listen, we might be bad, but they've always been worse. I don't know where
No,
he's
we've
getting this
always
mouth
been
from.
worse, mate. Oh, well, right now we are, but Big Sam,
For
his whole
20 plus years
philosophy
you've been.
is stopping us from conceding goals. That's his whole ethos. So why do you bring him in now with 4 games to go after getting battered 4-1 by Bournemouth,
It's too late.
getting
It's
battered
too
by
late.
Fulham, battered by Liverpool? Why do you not bring him in earlier? It's
late.
not too late. That's why I got to disagree with you there,
Nah,
son.
bro.
Because
Sorry,
Big
man.
Sam can work magic. He's going to come storming into that dressing room, pint of gravy in one hand, pint of Stella in the other hand, and he's going to sort out the ship today. I
get a
have
chippy
a lot
on
of
the way
faith in him.
home.
Yeah, a nice chippy on the way home.
Yeah.
And I've
Standing
actually,
at the counter like that. That picture of him.
but I'll actually get that picture tattooed on my body. If we stay up,
What?
I will get that picture tattooed on me. I don't care. I get that
Handshake?
tattooed on my head.
No, don't say that because you won't do that.
I
Not on your body, not
I
your
will
head.
get a
though.
Big Sam. If he
Not on
does
your
the
head,
magic of keeping us up, mate, he can
Let us
get
know
all,
in the
all
comments where you'd
cheeky
like
ones.
to see that on the body of James. Pause.
But no, it's interesting to see his first lineup today, though. We all thought he was going to go park the bus to try and actually
Meslier
help us
dropped.
defend.
Is the
Meslier
key
dropped for Joe
news
Robles.
for that?
Key news, but anyone could see it coming. Even Stevie Wonder could see that he was going to get dropped today because he's been awful recently. I mean,
What's happened to him? Because
What's happened to
it
him?
felt
I was
like
told by
if-
Leeds fans he's the new Messiah.
Well, yeah, that's what we all thought. We all thought that he was going to be the next big thing. Unfortunately, the guy has the concentration span of a set 8 maths kid, shall we say. And the guy doesn't know what he's doing half
Shout out
the
to the
time.
set 8
You
maths
see him.
kids,
I mean,
though,
just look at
yeah.
that goal we conceded against Everton. Yeah, you look at that game we played them, and
Weetabix
Coleman
hands.
scores. The guy's going for a Sunday stroll. He's like he's taking his dog for a walk with the paper. He's going nowhere near his 18-yard box. He basically scored from the corner flag, Coleman. And against you guys, he let in when we played you. Yeah, after we lost 5-1 to Palace, there was a point in the game where he'd conceded 10 out of his last 10 shots faced. He's just got no confidence. He's really young.
It's funny.
old
DR
is he?
Sports put up a
23.
stat the other day saying that on average, Big Sam's win rate across his career is 1 in 5. But Leeds should have known that because they've only got 4 games left.
He's only actually won 4 games in his last 30.
Okay. West Brom was his last attempt.
Yeah.
He didn't keep them up. But listen,
You know
time
it's
is still
desperate
there.
times, man.
5 and Sam has been called to the rescue.
He has.
Predictions:
I'm going 5-0 Man City.
5-0 Man City.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
5-0.
4-0.
4-0.
Yeah.
4-1.
4-1. Well, I'm going to tell you that Leeds are going to nick this 1-0, and I'll tell you for why. We've got Voba back
Listen up, guys,
at the
this will
back.
be good.
Mate, that back 3 of Firpo, Voba and Christensen, senior daddy tier subscription Firpo. I told you, if you think you're getting past this guy, think again. This guy is the Real for sure. Back in the team.
You sure?
Partnering Rocker, Ailing next to him, storming down the wing, causing magic.
I saw him not getting
Scored
back
one
in
goal,
time
didn't
the
he?
other day.
Yeah, but this is Big Sam Luke Ayling. This is Ayling reborn. Jack Harrison on the other wing back. The guy's got a better whip than Tony McCoy. You've got
twin.
Nonto and McKennie in the pocket in
his
front.
twin, innit?
And Patrick Bamford
Yeah.
up front. He's got Big Sam written all over him, mate.
Thank you for
Brexit
reading up the
ball at its
lineup. We
finest.
love to see it. Promise to get back in the comments, but let's go through Tottenham versus Crystal Palace. Forster stays in goal. Is it? Oh well, are we never going to see Lloris back in a Tottenham shirt? Who
Probably
knows?
not.
And he injured, is he?
Yeah, he's injured. Apparently, he's
injured.
out for the season. And he's leaving in the summer. So
Romero fresh from another hasty tackle to give away a penalty at Anfield last week with Longley and Davis at the back, who maliciously stole Mo Salah's shirt off his back and got a free kick for it. Anyway, Porro, Skip, Højbjerg and Emerson make up that kind of midfield / back 5. Son, Richarlison, the Pigeon Man, and Harry Kane up front. Johnston in goal for Palace. Ward, Anderson, Gahey, Mitchell, Schlupp, Decore and Eze, and Elise, Ayew and Zaha.
The man
Are
them.
you frightened of this game? Because this could easily be a Palace win, could it not?
of course, Hotspurs. Have you been watching us this season?
I watched you on Sunday at
there's
4:30 at Anfield.
Yeah, you were breaking it. You were bricking it. You were bricking it.
no,
No. You know, now he's looked away with the result. It's all chest out.
What,
Yeah.
last 10 minutes? I knew you were going to equalise.
You was
but I knew
bricking
we'd
it.
win it as well. Because it's Tottenham, as we said.
And that's the thing. It's
the
like
history.
the United result midweek kind of crawled that back there. It's you never know what you're going to kind of get with this Spurs team. So it's so inconsistent. We've been beaten at home by Bournemouth. We've been beaten at home to you guys. Arsenal have beaten us at home this season. Like there have been so many kind of bad results at home that we can't even call it a fortress. So if you're asking me, am I sure when I see Emerson Royale at left wing back?
I can't stand him, you know.
That's a mad one.
You can't
I can't stand him, you know.
Imagine he played for your club.
I can't stand that guy.
Imagine
Because what does he bring to the... Because if he's a
Quality,
wing back, right,
good trims.
surely he should be good at probably putting balls into the box. Pause. Or just doing things that are further up the pitch.
He's more of a battle warrior. He'll throw himself into tackles and give a few fist pumps to the crowd, and they'll buy into it. The match-going fans will be like,
merchant.
He's really trying. He is. But really and truly, there is zero
I think
quality
he's
on
shocking,
the ball.
bro.
There is zero quality in the final third. When you what you actually need from a wing back, he doesn't offer in the slightest. And then what he'll do is he'll put one or two tackles in at the back. People will say, "Yeah, do you know what? He's got something." Porro, on the other hand, I feel like he's been cooked on occasions. Like when he's played bad this season, it's been really bad. But when I look at him, I see a footballer there. I see someone who's got technical ability. I see someone who, when he gets in the final third, he actually looks a threat, whether it's taking a shot or trying to find a final ball, and it being a quality final ball. So for me, I think with time and a better defense around him, Porro will look better. But at the moment, it's rough for any defender in that back line, in all honesty. And Romero's a prime example of that. World Cup winner, we got him looking like an absolute bozo, and he's not doing himself any favours, let's be honest.
I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs.
I'm going 2-2.
I'm going...
In my head, it's more a draw, but...
Yeah, 2-2.
I'm leaning towards you, 2-2. I think we've got
I'll go
liability
2-2,
to concede,
yeah.
but then Kane can pop up with one or two. I think
Son's in form as well, a little bit. So
I think Eze is
2-2.
going to be the one to watch. Eze and Elise have been
And Zaha.
doing up dirt over the past couple of weeks. Elise's creativity is crazy, and Zaha, Eze, that midfield, he's going to walk through it, man.
Hey, don't count out Jordan, are you? Don't count him out.
Hey, under Uncle
count him
Roy, he's been a different man. I can't even lie. I used to be his biggest hater, Jordan Ayew. I used to be like, why does he even play
played a lot of
football? I
games,
don't
hasn't
get it.
scored many
He's
goals.
finessed the Premier League career for about 8 years, but under Roy Hodgson,
He's got a banging
you got a
finesse
gaffer
on him
who
as well.
believes in him. It's a bit like Joe at your club.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Sometimes when you get a gaffer that just believes in you, gets the right things going, you get something out of them.
Stuff happens.
I think Palace are going to win 3-0, to be honest.
3-0. Wow, it's a massive shout. It's not the first time.
3
We've heard a score
not right
prediction
very
like
often,
that
don't
from
worry.
James.
Well, every single time without fail I've been on here, Spurs have been battered.
Have they?
Yeah, I mean,
Can you recall
literally
every
lost.
single time you've been on here?
Well, every time I've been on here that Spurs have been playing, rather.
Can you recall every single one?
I can recall you losing 4-1 to Wolves, was it? You lost 4-1
Was it
to
Wolves?
Leicester, you lost 4-1
Was
to
it Leicester?
Leicester. You lost to Wolves and Leicester. Oh, you lost to Wolves and Leicester.
It was Leicester.
No,
see?
but you
'Cause that's-
did know.
I'm trying to see if he knows.
You did lose
He
to
remembers
Wolves.
all the games.
You did lose to Wolves when I was on here. You lost to Wolves, or and you drew to Southampton, and you lost to Leicester. 3 that come to mind. 3 scarring memories.
No, we've
that come
both
to
been
mind.
on here for some howlers for our teams this season, to be honest.
Mate,
we've
it's part of the
taken our
game.
licks.
It's what we do.
Yeah, of course. We put ourselves in the firing line. It is what it is. Wolves versus Aston Villa, the form team, really, in 2023 so far. Jose Sarr, Semedo, Dawson, Kilman and Gomez at the back. Neto, Neves, Lamina and Nunes with Mateus Cunha and Diego Costa up front. Aston Villa, Emi Martinez, Ashley Young, still knocking around. He's in at right back with Konza, Mings and Moreno at the back, which that back five has really upped their game since Unai Emery's come in. Douglas Luiz, McGinn, Traore, Buendia, Ramsey, and the man on fire right now, Ollie Watkins up front. What are your score predictions for this one? A strong bench for the Villa as well. Coutinho back on the bench.
Villa away?
Yeah.
Yes, it's at the Molineux Stadium.
2-1 Villa.
2-1 Villa.
Dendonka.
I don't see Villa conceding.
Is he on bench?
They've got
Dendonka?
Let's
they've
have
got
a
a
look.
record.
Dendonka is not on the bench. Not involved.
Damn.
I'm going 2-0.
Oh no, he's on the bench.
2-0. 2-0.
So he used to play for
Villa.
Wolves.
Yeah,
I was looking at the
I'm
Wolves
waiting
bench.
for that, come on, 80th minute, bath, header.
Okay.
2-0 you're going.
2-0.
2-0 Villa, yeah.
I'll go 3-1 Villa. James?
Oof, I think I'm going to go Wolves 2,
Wolves 2.
Aston Villa 4.
Oh, bit of a mini classic there at Molineux today. Let's hope we see some goals fly in, because I know last week was pretty goalless, really, in the Saturday football show. But there's all your lineups, your previews to all the 3 o'clock kickoffs today. Make sure you're liking the video. Let's jump into the comments then, as we are now 1 minute away from the 3 o'clock kickoffs kicking off as well. 3-0 Aston Villa, says EQ. Come on, Leeds, says TC7. Big up to him. Which VAR decision will Liverpool get in their favour today? Yeah. Says Q. This could be a 6-0, says Jake Snacks. Let's be honest, Leeds are going to get destroyed. Jack Harrison in the studio, says MDM.
That's his twin, isn't it?
Anyone that thinks Leeds are going to get destroyed is highly uneducated when it comes to footballing terms. Because if you're looking at these two lineups, if you're looking at these two managers, and you don't think that Sam Allardyce is going to get the better of Pep Guardiola, then I question if you've ever really watched a game of football in your life. Wait. Look at these men on the pitch here. Do you seriously think these men are going to get turned over by Manchester City? Look at them. Wilfred Gnonto, best youngster in the Prem, and that is all alleged, all rumours, all right, not true.
There we go. Fuad with the freshest of trim, says.
It is. It's looking sharp. I saw it on the Instagram, but now in person as well. Whew, mate.
Appreciate it.
Nice to see AGT again, says John Donuts. Big up to you. Quick question. Do y'all split the bill on the first date, says Just a Lost Cause?
Jeez. First date? No.
I don't think you can.
Hang on a minute. First date.
That's my rule.
I've done it before, but that's just because to me she be like a girl that I like, innit?
Yeah.
But
I think
of course,
you got to pay for wasting my time, he said.
Got cash for it. Bring in the keys. But however,
I do hear you on that one.
However,
Equal opportunities, bro.
But if like is a girl that I'm serious about, like my missus now, bro, yeah, who's first date?
I paid on the first.
Well, I think whoever asks should pay. You know, it's just common courtesy.
Good question, though. These are kind of things we like to answer on the Saturday football show. Back to the football, though. We are less than a minute away now from the kickoffs. Let's keep the comments flying in. Pint of gravy each for the boys, says James. If you do want your comment to be read out without question, make sure you do send in a super chat, by the way. Robbie Keane, part of the coaching staff there at Leeds. I didn't know.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
he's
well, he couldn't bring his
everyone boy.
Yeah. He couldn't bring his other man in because he's actually tied up in litigation right now in court, so he had to bring your boy in. Former Leeds player as well, former Leeds and Spurs player.
And
Robbie
Liverpool
Keane.
and Aston Villa and West Ham and Celtic.
Yeah.
And
Well, Spurs were just
and
on the
Wolves
screen.
as well.
Really
Brexit Ball
flexing the
says
knowledge.
Ducks eats bread. Chelsea going to get cooked, says Abrelman. Be up to you. Good old Frankie Lampard for the 007 settings today, says Andrew Green. Frank auditioning for the 007 stunt double today. Reports are he may get the role. Big up to everyone involved. Right. Here we bloody go. This is the moment you guys wait for. It's 3 o'clock on a Saturday. You're watching the Saturday football show. Myself, AGT, we've got Fuad, Big Hugs, James Toon, and make sure that you are smashing that like button and smashing that live chat as well. Send in super chats if you want your comment to be put right to the top of the pile. Go straight to my back pocket. I wish. No, it doesn't at all. Sammy Lee is at jury service. That's what it is. He got called up to jury service, and the job's only for 4 weeks. There you go.
Well, it might not be.
The only king of England is King Kenny, says the 40-year-old
More
Virgil.
like Ledley King,
or him.
Respect the king.
I'd have them both, to be honest. King Kane says Viva Ronaldo. I honestly feel for people in the UK not being able to watch the 3 p.m. kickoff, says Yodit. Well, that is the first time ever.
The first time
that we are watching this bad.
The reason is because it was meant to be on Sunday, but because City are playing on Tuesday, they had to move it forward so they have at least 3 days. And because of the King's coronation, they couldn't put it any earlier on Saturday, so it had to be squeezed in at 3 o'clock.
So why can't they just change that for
I don't know why they can't change the rules and broadcast all of them personally.
It really
but
is. I will
if you're really a good king, that would be your first.
would be your first
Literally, all must be free in my country.
Great comment here from Marlon Blade. Will AGT and Fuad replace Jeff Stelling?
Sky Sports wish. That's all I can say. You know what I'm saying? We all know where the home is.
I'll do it. I'm joking. DR Sports is where it is, people. Don't forget that. What's with all these clubs panicking and going for dinosaur managers, e.g. Allardyce, Deitch?
How dare you.
Bit unfair on Deitch, to be fair.
Unfair on Allardyce.
Hodgson, surprisedly, he's had a good few results, but no longevity. Surprised Tottenham didn't try and get Alan Kirbishley, says Alarin, as mentioned earlier.
I agree, though. I feel like there's a lack of quality in managers around right now, and that's why clubs are going for like the big Sams on short-term deals. I understand the timing of the appointments and the sackings.
This is what happens, though. I feel like when you breed a culture of sacking managers, let's be honest, I feel like every club has gone through pretty much what their threshold of managers are. In, I don't know, clubs are going through 2 or 3 at a time in a season, and it's like, I don't know, I grew up where managers kind of got 2 years to build their squad. 1 year was like the transition
money
year.
In it now, isn't it? So
now it's
pressure,
like people expect instant success. Javi Gracia came in as like back end of the season, you're going to save us. Remember, he's Watford's best percentage winning manager was what we were sold by Mr. over there as well. But then a few results go, and then those same fans will be the same ones that get on people's back. And I just feel like nowadays we live in this era where pressure comes so quickly, and you can say it is money and everything, but personally, I'm a firm believer in sticking with managers, working it out, seeing what the issues are, because a lot of the times, I think, when you look at squads, there's gaping holes in pretty much every squad you can look at. Yeah, they spend unwisely or whatever, but I don't know. I just feel like managers aren't given enough time these days.
No, but if you stick for a manager for too long, it goes wrong.
Going back to the home comforts of the guys we know, if you like, because all the foreign managers, they've gone through 2, 3, 4 of them, and it's like, all right, they don't work. Let's go back to Mr. Old School Classic, get it up the pitch and score us a goal.
Big Mick McCarthy.
You know what I'm saying?
But the cost of going down is like 100 million apparently.
What about the parachute payments and all that they were talking about? And really and truly, with these Premier League squads, the gap nowadays between the Premier League and the Championship is so big. Even if you go down, I'm sorry, Leeds go down now, they should get record points in the Championship next year.
No, that's not how good that's not how it works, unfortunately, because when you have these players on massive wages, look, if we go down our owner's gone off to...
You're stupid if you're signing them and you know you're a club fighting relegation.
Why am I the one making these signings? You should be making them and getting away from it.
There should be a clause in their contract that says, if we get relegated, you take a 40% cut. A lot of clubs do that as well.
Oh, no, there are. Of course there's those clauses.
I don't want to hear about all of this finance.
No, but if you've spent 150 odd million and then you lose all your players on a cut fee, you don't sell them, you're not able to recoup any of that money, and then you have the 49ers who still haven't taken you over, who are probably looking at you in the Championship like, nah, I'm not sure I really want that anymore, and then our other owner going off to Italy to buy Milan, then I'm not sure that you come straight back up. Last time we went down, it was 16 years, and you look at a side like Forest who've made like...
scenario, don't even compare.
No, it's not, man.
Whole different scenario. You were broke them times, you had to sell players for cut price. This is a whole different Leeds. Come on.
Nah, we still have to sell... we haven't stabilised, mate. There's nothing stable about us. We're like a roller coaster. We're like Nemesis Inferno,
you sell off 3 or 4 of those players, you're not good in the Championship next year.
If we stay in the Prem, we are. If we go down, then we sell them for like a fifth of the price.
And what is a fifth of the price?
Well, you probably sell Nonto for about 15-20 million instead of 100 million.
Oh, relax yourself.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course.
What, Nonto's going for 15-20 million?
15-20 million?
No, he's not.
What is that?
No, he's
not.
That's nothing. I'm seeing João Pedro getting sold for more than that, and he's already playing for a Championship club. Give it a rest. Please.
So what?
If we go down, we won't have the financial clout to do it.
Talent still.
So do you think he will go for more or less?
100%. He will go for 30 minimum.
Oh, okay.
No, not if we go down, though.
I'm saying he's going on like, oh yeah, if we go down, we have to sell our players for peanuts, and we're not gonna come back up. Bro, your squad is good enough.
Well, clearly
you're
not good enough.
22 players.
Well,
they're not good enough for the Premier League. The Premier League is a whole different animal.
Super chat here from Subish 007, who says Ramiro is so unlucky to play at Spursy. He revolutionised Argentina, wants to be at a big club. Xavi likes him, hope he comes to Barca. I mean, did you see him play last week?
Who's that?
Romero. Yeah.
Listen, man, you're one of these people, you don't believe in the stocks, man.
I did at the start, but now I think I've seen him for what he actually is. Let's not forget, Otamendi started over him for Argentina at the World Cup.
Mm-hmm. They were starting together.
No. Not in the final.
I actually think he's actually a good centre half.
They were starting together.
In the final.
They were starting together.
If I'm wrong,
Get a load of this guy. Was he watching? Was he at the World? You was at the World Cup as well, bro. Come on, like, what the hell, bro? Romero was starting pretty much every single game in the World Cup.
Okay,
Lisandro was the one on bench.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true,
Oh,
yeah.
that might be who I'm getting confused with.
Yeah.
he
You
did
see,
play.
they don't even know they're Argentinians, but they're
They
trying to
did.
brandish them in one way.
But you know what?
Nah. Now talk.
The point I raised is fair. A lot of people have questioned his attitude, maybe for. I mean, Abby has saying he was awful for Tottenham, good for Argentina. He was saying he was injured for a month before the World Cup. He dives into tackles, gets silly yellow and reds.
I've said this year he's not been good. This year we have been awful. Let's be honest. I think our defense has been awful. Our system's been awful, and I think he's fallen probably a big part of that. There've been games where he's definitely been targeted. Like people can read, he's going to be the easy one to jump out. The problem is if you know you've got a defender like that, you always have a calm one that covers. We've got Dyer covering. We've got the wing backs who aren't really defensive wing backs, let's be honest. You've got Lloris, who's meant to be your last line of defence, isn't as secure. I think he hasn't covered himself in glory, but if you're looking at him and you think, he's not a good player or a good defender, for me, good luck. I think you get him a good manager, you get him in a good team.
Of course.
Like
that fan saying, I would love to have him at Barca. He goes Barcelona and he's playing next to Araujo and Koundé. You'll see a whole different animal, I'm telling you. Because people were saying the same thing about like someone like Rudiger. They were saying, he's a bozo, he's too aggressive, he's too rash. I always feel like with those types of front foot defenders, if you like a Vidic, I think, you always need someone calm next to him, like a Puyol. You always need a PK, a Rio Ferdinand, the Carvalho next to Terry, if you like. Those are the best combinations that work. I feel like Romero, since he's come to the club, he's what? Sanchez, Dyer, Ben Davis. Yeah. You need the hungry guy, and then the guy who's like, no. You guys have that with Botman and Shaw, let's be honest. Yeah, so
for sure.
I think there's a player there, but definitely not been good this season.
Let's go to the Etihad. How have Leeds started in this one, James?
Started off pretty well. We actually look tight for once. We actually look like we have some sort of ability to defend, and we're actually playing some high-pressing football, some Gegenpressing from Sam Allardyce you're seeing here. Everyone's saying he's some anti-football merchant. You're seeing is completely wrong here. Taking the game to City. I don't know how this guy's still on the pitch, though. Weston McKennie. Jesus. Waste of space McKennie this year. That guy is killing a living in the Premier League. But right now, it's looking decent. Couple of half chances, bit of a scrappy game, but that's to be expected.
Has that American Revolution worked out for Leeds?
Absolutely not. Well, actually, one of them did. The only one that did was Tyler Adams. He's been sensational this year.
Just because he fist pumps and bumps into
No. The work he does off. He's the only player in that squad that can actually track a runner. And since he's been injured, the reason our defence has been so
Goal for
leaky,
Chelsea. Away
Conor
at
Gallagher.
Bournemouth after 9 minutes. Conor Gallagher has got the goal for the Blues. It's a great start. They had just almost had a very big opening with a shot from Madueke. The keeper mixed it up a bit with the defence, and that is a massive goal for Chelsea, which finally, at this stage as we speak right now, takes them to 42 points.
42, wow.
I don't think
Unbelievable.
that lead last though. I do feel like Bournemouth gets a first goal and then a second goal, and it's 2-2, because I feel like Chelsea defensively they're shocking and they don't have a style of play, so teams will pick that out. Wolves 1-0 as well.
Another goal in the Premier League. 2 goals in the first 10 minutes. How lucky are you?
Totti.
Legend.
Totti.
Not the real Totti.
Not the real Totti, but Totti
Left
number.
back, innit?
First shirt I ever got was a Totti shirt, I think. One of the first shirts, yeah.
One of my first ever ones was an orange Valencia away shirt. Randomly enough.
What was your first shirt? Let us know down in the chat down below.
That was a Liverpool shirt for sure, but I remember also getting that at the same time.
Yeah, mine would have been a Liverpool
Let us know
shirt.
what shirts you've got. We will speak about these kind of football nostalgia topics that we like speaking about, don't we, Fuad? Later on in the show, so shirts, boots, collections, all that stuff we love to talk about.
And a lot of good clothes come from the States. And to finish off your question about the American Revolution that everyone bought into, including myself, like I said, I only think one of the players really worked out. Jesse Marsh's philosophy's completely burnt out. Aronson, Brendan A.A. Ronson, who I gassed up a lot. I mean, the guy is skinnier than Rizzler paper. He gets bodied off the ball way too easily. He has absolutely no strength. Waste of space. McKennie falls asleep every 2 seconds. Doesn't look. What's he doing, man? He can't get anywhere near the ball. He couldn't rattle his butt cheeks with a fart, let alone opponents, mate.
What is
and then Tyler Adams, the only actual useful one of the lot so far, has got himself injured.
I do like Tyler Adams. Talk us through this Chelsea goal then, James.
Well, it's a lovely cross in, and Colin Gallagher with a beautiful flicked it like a switchblade there into the
Don't
bottom
say
left-hand
stuff
corner.
like that, you pillock.
He did. It was such a gentle flick, a handsy flick, if you will, as the ball comes in. And Frank Lampard's still not even cracking a smile there.
Because he knows, like,
Scoring
What
early.
do you mean? They're beating Bournemouth. This is big for him.
but this
Biggest win
lead
of his career.
won't last. I'm sure of it.
No, it
So
won't
let's see. It's a
potentially.
1-2.
Good ball, though.
Flicks it out. Beautiful cross in
That's
from
a
the
great header.
right-hand side there. Who's
Striker's
that with
header,
the
man.
cross?
Kante.
Kante.
Is that Kante? What a cross.
It's a
Beautiful
great header
dip
at
on
the
it.
far post,
Yeah.
back to the back post. And
But it's one of those where he
swooped
doesn't need to put any power on it. The power's already
Just
there
direct
from the
it, yeah.
cross. Yeah, he just
Why don't these coaches
guides
play
it in there.
Kante where we know that he's best player in that CDM role? Like, I get that he's not the best on the ball, but
Did you not see that cross?
no, but on the
He's
ball,
a
I'm
ball
saying.
carrier.
But I'm saying, but
Baller.
why did they play him so high up, like in the
Because I
eight?
think his energy and his running is wasted at CDM. He's even when he was at Leicester, he never
press.
played as like a sitter. He was always like, I feel like you had a Danny Drinkwater who sat and played the ball, if you like, but he was the one that the pressing starts from him almost in midfield. And I feel like Chelsea did that a lot with Jorginho when he was initially there as well, and that kind of worked best. I always feel like Kante always works best when he's got that sitting next to him. France, you see it with Matuidi as well and Pogba, but he gets to kind of be the presser there. I think technically he's actually underrated a little bit. Sometimes some of the dribbles he goes on and some of the final balls he's able to find, I think he just doesn't look as easy on the eye, if you like, because he's just, I don't know, just a little bit stiffy.
But him being there or him playing in that position, because I watched him play against Madrid, yeah, and he had a lot.
There was times when he was picking up the ball when you wished it was someone else. I get what you're saying. Yeah,
So him being in those positions, he's going to be the ones to take their chances.
But for me,
or
that
to have the
comes
chances.
from Chelsea not having enough attackers in those areas.
they've
if
got
that makes
loads,
sense.
man.
I remember that game; they were playing like a weird Christmas tree formation with Gallagher in like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
false
yeah.
nine. So it's like that's the reason why Kante's in those positions. But I think Kante as an 8 for me is actually his best right. I think if you played him as a lone sitter, you're going to end up having him go on walkies and then I don't know, just having this big gaping hole in the middle.
Francesco says, this Leeds fan, what a man, I love this guy.
thank you.
AGT, you sit on the fence, says Badger.
Yeah, he's got splinters up his
Couple of
crack, actually.
splinters.
Badia, sure.
How do you know? Big pause, by the way, as well. On that one
Didn't
there.
need to question
There's
it.
no need for that. Lampard and Chelsea uplifted by the coronation, says 40-year-old Virgil.
40-year-old Virgil, I
Virgil,
like
he's
it.
called, yeah. Garbo Staunton with the super chat. He says, first shirt was an OG Arsenal 86 centenary jersey that my mother threw out in the 90s because it was too tacky. Probably worth money now.
What a ball.
My first shirt was the Hollands Decorators Halifax Town shirt.
Halifax Town.
Pretty rare, that one.
Wow.
Where does James get his metaphors from? Says Dane.
Well, 4chan, Reddit, there's some good ones.
No,
Most,
so he actually does.
I don't.
That's
From a good night's sleep, that's where I get them from, to be honest. From a good night's sleep.
Fair
And a
play.
nice bowl of cornflakes.
Love to see it. Holy shit, Chelsea actually winning a game. That's crazy, says AW.
Actually is.
4chan, that's a bit mad, says Al Guapo. Don't even know what that is, what you said there.
It's like
Place for the
Red.
super
It's the
nerds.
Reddit for Reddit. Yeah, it is the
Right.
literal back page of the internet.
Fair play. We're getting our 40 points today, says LOBY. My first shirt was a
Ooh.
16-17 Dortmund home shirt.
Space.
KDB.
Got space.
Cash money.
Pick someone
How
out.
do you
Who's
miss
Big
that?
miss.
Who's Alvarez? Yeah.
From
Julian.
Alvarez in the City game.
That's
Julian.
one more.
Nowhere near,
Chelsea
mate.
currently,
Never.
as it stands,
in doubt.
42 points. Bournemouth 39. Chelsea would go to 11th and above Crystal Palace if they win this one today. A couple of games going on in the Bundesliga as well. Augsburg and Union Berlin 0-0 as things stand. Borussia Mönchengladbach are 1-0 up at home to Bochum. And Hertha Berlin and Stuttgart, it's 1-0 there. And Hoffenheim are 2-0 up at home to Eintracht Frankfurt. Very Scouse kind of word, that, isn't it? I feel
What?
like it's
Eintracht
Frankfurt. Freiburg and Leipzig are also 0-0. And AC Milan,
Eintracht means in
Champions
German.
League. No.
United.
Okay, love to see it. See, you learn things on the Saturday Football Show as well. Bilingual.
Hey,
AC Milan
AC.
2-0 at home to Lazio. Benacer and Hernandez, the captain, have scored for Milan as well as they. Oh, good save from the Leeds goalkeeper. How did Haaland miss that
Our keeper for Leeds actually made a save. This is unforeseen stuff. Chelsea are winning. Our keeper's made a save. Do not scratch your eyes. You really are.
Keeper's name?
Witnessing Joel Robles. I mean,
Everton and Betis reject.
Ah, yeah, Everton.
And
Everton.
Atletico.
Was he there as well?
Yeah. Oh, he's like a familiar name I've seen on many adventures.
yeah. Many a
not the
FM
best.
saves he's popped around.
Not the best.
No,
PSV Eindhoven was my first shirt, says Habib Mohammed.
Nurmagomedov.
Love to see it. Yep, the Cop TV looking forward to our 3 points today, says Sam. We will be previewing the Liverpool and Brentford game later on. AGT is a great presenter. Big up to you, Ashrad Dooley. First kit was 97. Dortmund UCL winners kit,
I can't
says
lie to
Chris.
you.
That's a beautiful kit, that one.
Dortmund throughout the whole 90s. Go and look at all their kits.
Yeah.
Bangers on
And not a lot of
bangers.
them were actually yellow.
They were neon.
Yeah.
They were like neon green. And then
And now, when we think
And
of them
then-
now, we think the yellow wall, but
Yeah.
they were kind of the OGs of the neon. I
man,
feel
they
like.
need to go back to the 90s, I'm telling you. Whatever
Those
they had
Nike
then.
kits. Ooh, those templates were
The,
fire,
the,
man.
the logo as well
Yeah,
had like
yeah,
the
yeah.
writing on top of the tick.
Yeah.
It's like
Collar.
proper.
Thickness of the shirt as well. None
were
of
pretty
this.
good.
And when they
Yeah.
actually became good, they started getting shit kits. I was like,
No, they've got
Maybe the
some
other way
nice
around.
kits, man. They've had some nice kits even over the past decade.
Chance for Haaland at the back post.
Few
Leeds
wickets.
holding
Whoa,
on
what
here
is this?
in the first 20 minutes.
Absolute
And
skid mark
they're not
defending.
anymore
It's all Man
because
City,
it's
you know.
happened.
Oh,
Man City
of
after
course.
18 minutes
again.
have now scored.
Oh.
James's prediction out the window after 20 minutes in. It's Gundogan who is popping the ball about in the middle. We'll
Oh
report
my
on
days,
what the goal looks like
man.
for you very shortly.
Is it another set piece as well? Patrick Bamford, mate. What are you doing, son?
That goal was
Calamity.
always coming though because
Of course
that,
it was.
Yeah,
They've
because
been banging
Oh,
on the
they
goal since
haven't
the
been
first minute.
banging anything, mate.
And it's De Bruyne who
De
plays
Bruyne
it out
pulls
wide
it out.
to Riyad Mahrez, who cuts inside,
but it's Haaland.
Skins far post.
plays it to Gundogan.
Oh,
and
come on,
he's
someone
lost
It's
it.
McKennie again. What did I tell you about waste of space, McKennie?
That's
Look at this
too
man. He's sat
easy.
there scratching his arsehole. Close the man down. Guy's falling asleep. It's like he's took 50 cc's of liquid naproxen, man. Move your hips, man.
It was
Give
too
him some
easy. It was too easy.
WD-40.
Cash money.
Wake up. Smell the coffee.
Money.
Big Sam, 20 minutes in,
I'm actually
has clearly
sick
just
of
seen
this, sick of this skid mark
enough
defending,
already.
man.
and
How can you bring
it's-
Big Sam in and still not know how to
And
defend?
James Corden's his assistant as well.
I think that's Scouse lad, who's actually a manager. I'm trying to think of his name. I think he managed. I couldn't tell you, but he's a Scouse lad who's normally a number one, but he's come in as Big Sam's number two.
What did Big
but
Sam
Morris with
actually
the
think
assist.
who was going to come and change?
It's a
though?
great finish from
Like
Gundogan.
Man came
Too
in on the
easy
Man
though.
City game as well.
in,
Is he-
in 4
easy.
games
Man.
as well. So
You
that
ain't that big man.
No, it's too easy.
I like Sam Allardyce, but this is too little, too late. 4
Yeah,
games,
man.
you were never going to do anything, man.
so
too
late
late.
in the day.
Who are the other 3 games you've got as well?
Newcastle, U-Lot, and
Oh.
West Ham.
oh, well, at home or away?
Spurs, West
You getting
Ham.
punched up.
Yeah.
Are you home at West Ham or away at West Ham? You're away, innit?
Yeah. And we've got Spurs at home last game of the season,
Nah.
which will be an easy win for us.
So will you stay
We'll
up?
give
Yes
you
or
that.
no?
We'll give
I
you
don't
that.
know. I don't know. I to be honest, I don't know. The only hope I had was bringing Big Sam in. How tragic is that? The only hope I've had over the past 2 months was Big Sam coming in, and
Pretty
even that can't stop us skid mark defending. There's just players there that really don't give a rat's ass, and in fact, that's actually offensive to rat's asses to come out with a comment like that, because these guys couldn't give 2 shirelles if we go down. Look at this man, not even moving. Weston McKennie, he's strolling around the pitch. Have you brought Big Sam in, the epitome of Brexit ball, and this guy's still getting a game of football? Oh, I can't believe it, man. This is the worst I've ever seen us, man.
But Sam's
this
not
past
going to
month.
get you the goals that you lot need.
We don't need goals. We
you
need
need
to
goals,
stop
man.
defending.
You need goals because
You need to stop defending.
We need to stop conceding. Sorry, we never started.
It's 1-0 at Bournemouth.
told you.
Bournemouth have
told you.
equalised.
Eagles.
What a game that is.
I told you, bro.
Down
it.
on the south coast, and we both, all 4 of us predicted that Bournemouth would at least score or at least draw. But will they go on now to actually win the game? We'll let you know what the goal was like as soon as we get hold of it. But a great game down there, 20 minutes in, 1-1.
Yeah,
Chelsea fans
what
back
Bournemouth
in
are about,
the
man.
mud.
Bournemouth
That
ain't
was-
on
that
this
was what
coasting
happened.
shit, even though they're by the coast. But
Good shout.
that's a James on there.
That is a bit of a James on that one.
No, but James, though, like, seeing your team, yeah, where do you feel like your goals are going to come from? Because Bamford is shocking, yeah. He's not the same Bamford that we saw when he first came back
Hey,
No, he's
into
not.
this league. So, Harrison,
ask him to
Guys,
talk about.
guys useless.
Ask him to talk about the 40 million fraud sitting on his bench. Ask him.
What,
Ask him.
Rutter? I'll tell you, a 40
Ask him,
million
ask him.
fraud.
Ask
The
him,
guy's
ask him.
barely had a
Ask him.
sniff, man.
Ask him. Ask him.
I
about
actually watched him play in that FA Cup third round game.
Fulham.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
Thoughts?
Against
Accrington
Accrington Stanley.
Yeah, and he was decent then, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, and in that
something,
game,
yeah?
you know,
That Brer couldn't hit a barn door in the
What do you mean he
Bundesliga.
couldn't hit a barn
And
door,
they went
mate?
and paid
That
record
guy,
money for a guy who
What,
doesn't
what
have
are you
though.
talking
Man had
about,
8 goals in the
Eight
Bundesliga,
goals,
and they
yeah.
said 40 million.
I
Here
see
you
that
go.
still.
That
Come
guy
and
is
save
more
our
lethal
season.
than a prime phase tempo, right?
be lethal in the
How
Championship.
how
do you do
dare
this,
you?
though?
Huh?
Like, why do you say things that you don't even believe yourself?
I do. Rotter hasn't
believe
been
it.
given a sniff. He played really well against Fulham, and since then he's been kicked out of the side. Now, is he the man I would have brought in when you need goals in a relegation battle? No, it's not. Of course it's not. But they spent 30-odd million on him. Give him some game time, man. Well, 30 million.
I hear it though. Like, play him, innit? Play him. Like,
Play him, but he hasn't
play him
been given a
still.
sniff, man.
Oh, naughty from
He hasn't been
Conte
given
there.
any kind of opportunities.
Whole lot of me.
And it's not like we've had other strikers doing well. Rodrigo, who was our top goal scorer in that Accrington Stanley game, this absolute genius among men decides to bring him on in the 70th minute when we're already 3-1 up, breaks his leg in that game. And then Patrick Bamford, you talk about someone that can't hit a barn door. Guy doesn't know how to use his right foot. He's so one-footed, it's unbelievable. And the one time he actually needs to use his left foot, he uses his right foot and misses from 2 yards out. I haven't scored a goal all season.
Let's have a look at the Bournemouth game. It's Vinya. What a goal. What a goal.
Wow.
Sexy football.
He's a
Very sexy football.
good left back as well. You know, he's decent.
Great finish on his right foot after a nice 5-pass move. Really nice inside the box and outside the box by Bournemouth. Just after.
It's Kepa.
Exactly.
Outside the box.
Just after Conte got a yellow for scything down Ryan Christie, Bournemouth have equalised and Chelsea are back firmly in the mud. Matisse in the mud, AGT, the Muller-Rice of host. What does that mean?
The Muller-Rice, huh?
The Muller Rice of host.
Because you're...
Bland, no?
Because you're liquid.
Because you're bland.
Rah, okay.
I don't know.
Fuad on his
Well,
main
Ask them, innit? Ask them.
boo
I'll take
flex.
What's it mean?
Flavoursome.
Margin Boo, bruv. You don't know Margin Boo?
Margin Boo, who's that?
Didn't watch Dragon
Is that a
Ball Z
cartoon
growing up, no?
character? No, I watch Pokemon.
You watch Pokemon, but you didn't watch Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Neither.
He looks genuinely
He's disappointed.
Let's get back to the football. man.
Yeah, skip that. James T
Haaland
in relegation
Mr.
settings.
Sitter.
Just another DR Sports Saturday football show. Haaland's Mr. Sitter says Darren Beale, as we saw. Man said, who's that? That's disgraceful. Wallahi AGT. Says Al Guapo. Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Come
I was
on,
watching
man.
football.
This
You know what I mean?
is TV
I'm watching
heritage.
football.
Yeah.
Big Sam, the great
watching sexy
tactical
food
manager,
Jamal.
says John Gibbons.
Hey, that touch from
why is he
KDB
missing
as
that?
well, man.
What
Come
a
on,
miss that is
Haaland.
from Haaland.
Ah,
no,
To be
it's
fair,
not.
the
It's
pressure
not.
was on.
Rasmus.
Haaland wearing Nketiah's boots, says Duncan.
Nah, he doesn't want to relegate us, man. He's a
Arsenal
Leeds fan at
tomorrow.
heart.
Oh,
He's a Leeds fan at
Arsenal
heart.
tomorrow. That's going to be a beauty. A beauty that is.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, facts. bro.
America's Got Talent in it, says FJT, otherwise AGT, yep, for sure. Muller Rice is a good thing, it means you're a good blend, says LJ Brown. Big up. Haaland
Means you're
wearing
soggy
Timo
as well.
Werner's boots, says Buffalo. No, you guys are jokes, says Jaden. Let's talk about this then, shall we?
What
The
Timo
EA Team of the Season.
I hated that.
Right?
No, it was good.
Let's go
actually.
through
But
it.
Go for it.
We have got Robbie reacting to this during the Best of Enemies episode yesterday, which I was actually in the studio for. A mad episode. You need to go back and watch that if you haven't already. Don't spoil it,
Okay,
because
sorry.
people might not know
I'll
yet.
note
So
that.
let's now look at Robbie reacting to the Team of the Season made by EFA and the FIFA Ultimate Team in FIFA 23.
I mean, I'm sorry, Salah does not get in it ahead of Saka. And that's not because Salah is not a great player, as I said. He is amazing. He scored goals, but I don't think he's had, and his standards are super high, but I don't think he's had his best season. Or well, he's had a good season, but it's not been better than Saka's. No
100%.
way.
100%.
No
Saka's
way.
been so
And
important
we've
for us.
been top of the league for most of the season. A lot of that's to do with Saka.
100%.
You know,
100% scoring big goals in big
Ridiculous.
games. I feel like Salah hasn't been. Listen, he's been playing okay, but he's having his worst season. I can't believe Saka's not in there.
Yeah.
That is criminal.
Yeah.
Of all Arsenal players.
He's having his worst season, but it's still more goals and assists than Saka, and it's still him trying to reach that standard he got to in the first season when he scored 32 goals, which was a record only till now. He's just the seventh Stephen Wonder.
That shows you.
And I don't know why Robbie's got a problem.
Oh, he scored another fucking banger, man.
Um,
Someone learn how to defend.
Gundogan's on a hat-trick, by the way. It's 2-0 to Man City after 26 minutes, and it's a great goal. Big Sam in the mud. But
How is Gundogan scoring twice, man?
Wait, bro.
Gundogan.
Bro.
Gundogan.
But this
Come
was
on,
all gonna
someone learn how
happen,
to defend. Close him down, man. The guy
This was
could
always gonna
put a
happen, though, like-
10-meter ruler on every single vertex of his body, man.
This isn't the game for you guys to look for a win. This is just.
Of course it is. We've got 4 games left, man. Where else are we going to look for a win? What, Newcastle? Yeah, that's a pretty easy game,
Yeah,
isn't
Newcastle.
it?
Not Man City away. Of course not, man.
Just got covered by your spit then, mate. Say it, don't spray it. You know what I mean?
Sorry, mate.
Let's get back onto the team of the season, right? We saw Robbie and Cecil
again.
debating the fact that
That's the same goal.
it's a great finish from Gundogan.
Same sort of
and
goal.
paste, innit?
It really is.
Same sort of goal. That's poor.
But the team of the season, we just saw Robbie and Cecil talking about it. I don't agree with their opinions there, but let's go through the actual team and we can break it down.
Go on then.
Ramsdale in goal.
Nope.
Not
for
for
me.
me.
Ramsdale and goal. No. For me, it
it's
has to be
Alisson.
Nick Pope.
It's Alisson
Nick
for
Pope.
me.
Nick
What?
The
Pope.
most saves leading to definite
Wait,
goals
is this
this
Premier
season
League
is
only, by
Alisson.
the way?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Premier League.
I
Yeah.
was going to say, where's the stake?
No. Come on,
Premier
man.
League.
No. Alisson, no.
Has to be Alisson, bro.
No, because if you think about Alisson's only making saves because of how poor your
But
defense
as a
has been.
goalkeeper, to
Yeah.
start in a final tomorrow, who you have, Nick Pope or Alisson?
That's not the question.
But that's not the question.
But
That's
the
not
team of
question.
the season.
Don't try and
I
move
hate
the
when guys do
goalposts.
that, you know. Like,
Don't
Alright,
try and
well,
move the
either way,
goalposts.
it's Alisson.
team of the
Doesn't
season
matter.
means who's been the best in this position for the season.
There's
I feel
no
like
way Nick
Pope has
Pope's been a better
the standout
goalkeeper this
goalkeeper.
season than
I think
Alisson.
they're the 2 candidates, but in all honesty, I would go with Alisson.
Alisson.
'Cause
Now,
he
the reason
knows.
why I'll say is because I think Nick Pope, you have a solid system. I think you have solid centre backs in front of him as well, which you have to admit do help.
Nope.
Now,
you have
there
to
have
admit
been
that
there
helps,
have been
bro.
areas I think on the ball and things like that where he has been found a little bit Nick Pope wanting. Whereas Alisson, I feel like even though Liverpool have been bad, he still looked
He's
good.
been
And
our
the thing
best
is
player this season.
he was actually still even one of their best players when they were good. So I was expecting this season when they dropped off, I was like,
Facts.
yeah, Alisson's going to start making mistakes
Facts.
and they're going to get caught out. But he's actually raised his level in a funny way. Even though the pressure's gotten up. I hear what you're saying. Because he's facing more shots, he's making more saves. But the fact that he's still doing
Making
those
those
saves,
saves.
I mean,
the
yeah.
important
that.
times of
I
the
hear that,
saves
but-
that he makes.
Yeah,
as
but I
well.
put
say-
Ramsdale
And I
above
think there have
both
been
of them.
genuine moments where I can look at Liverpool season where I'm like, if it weren't for Alisson, you lot would have lost
Thank
that
you.
game. It would
Bro,
have been
we
4
would
goals, it would have
genuinely
been
be
5
like
goals.
14th or 15th
Van
without him.
Dijk this season, Trent this season,
Yeah.
Robbo this season.
I
Not
heard
Trent
that.
in the last 6 games.
Oh yeah, but this season.
No, exactly.
The back
But
line
that
this
shi-
season.
that's even
Oh,
more of an
it's been-
excuse to put him in. If you're
100%,
looking for a
yeah.
goalkeeper
You're-
who can
but-
score goals, assist,
No.
it's Alisson.
I do agree though.
But-
Pope
but-
definitely
Pope's had a
deserves
great season.
But
But
Wait, hang on. Your
He's had a
argument
great
then
season.
for Alisson is the same as De Gea because obviously his team also they also concede chances as well. So,
Now-
But De Gea and Alisson are worlds apart with their
he
feet
also
and
makes
shot stopping.
more saves. With Nick Pope, yeah, don't underestimate the influence Nick Pope has on our team. If you take him out of our defense, it's not the same. It's actually not the same, and we saw it in that cup final. You know that what Nick Pope does for us, he gives us assurance in behind that. Yeah, he's
That
not
safe
great
last line.
with the
I'm
ball
not
on
denying
his feet.
any of this,
does the
bro.
same
But
thing.
Alisson does all that and double what he does. There is levels
Alisson's
respectfully.
better on the ball.
Respectfully,
I hear
it's-
that,
it's
but
Alisson.
for me this season,
But
Nick Pope's had
Ramsdale's
a
been
blinder.
picked.
Yeah,
James
Ramsdale
just said-
deserves
yeah.
it. Look, you guys are basically crucifying because of Arsenal's success, but he has been a key figure in Arsenal's success. Aaron
I'm not
Ramsdale.
denying that at all.
They've had problems. I
again,
mean, one of the big
it's-
problems they
it all
had over
comes
the
back
years
to
is
Alisson,
goalkeeping.
Ramsdale this season has even been better than Ramsdale last season.
100%, man. He's
Again, it goes back
he's
to
been
the fact
good this
that he's
season,
faced
but-
less
I
shots.
feel like last season that I'm not going
but
to.
that's 'cause he was faced more shots, so it looks more glamorous.
The Liverpool game, for example, where he single-handedly kept them in it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me, but I felt like last season there were more moments where you looked at Ramsdale like, right, he's actually really digging him out when they were kind of going for that top 4 race.
yeah.
But this season, I feel like Gabriel stepped up, Saliba stepped up. Similar like you lot, I'm saying, the back line in front of him, if that's always solid, I feel like the keeper almost it's a less of a job.
No,
you have to do
I
type of
disagree.
thing.
Actually, I think it's a
And
harder
I think you look
challenge.
at Ben White, you look at Saliba, you look at Gabriel, you look at Zinchenko. Pretty much all of them are contenders for Team of the Year, if you like. You're going to tell me now Ramsdale deserves all that credit?
I do think so. The same way Alisson had a phenomenal season when Van Dijk was in his pomp. A goalkeeper, I think, is actually tested more when you have a better defence. A lot of goalkeepers look really good when
Did
you
you
have.
just say?
Well, look, a lot of goalkeepers look really good when they have loads of shots that they're faced with and they have to make loads of saves. But a very, very key part of being a good goalkeeper at the top level is when you don't have that many shots to face and you have to keep your concentration
And that's
for
what I'm
the
saying.
one big
I
shot
agree
that
with
you
you.
face
Agree
in a
with
How
game
many times
to make
has
the
Alisson
save.
made a save that's won us the game or kept us in? I would go for Alisson. This has caused a lot of comments to be flying in, by the way. This is great engagement. Keep them coming, guys. We will try and get through as many as we can. Got the team in the bottom left here. We've only started on the goalkeeper yet. But we've got Alisson in goal. Alisson 100%. Nick Pope, Alisson, Ramsdale, David Raya, Emerson, Pope. It's Alisson. Otherwise, LFC would be mid-table. Meslier, I think that one's a joke. Alisson or Pope. Alisson, De Gea, Martinez, De Gea. Alisson must be in goal. De Gea most clean sheets. Alisson has been amazing. If it wasn't for him, we'd be 16th.
Right.
So a lot of people saying Alisson. If I'm really honest in the chats, Lloris definitely not. Alisson, another Ramsdale. So again, let us know if you agree with that one in the comments. But let's go through the rest of the team.
Down.
Kieran Trippier right back.
Nobody has anything to say. That's it. Next one. Kieran Trippier's been the best right back this season.
Ben White?
Nope.
Ben White.
If-
Ben White's been
Similarly, you can
extremely
argue the two,
consistent.
but I would lean towards Trippier as
I
well.
would lean towards Trippier.
If you're talking about
Trent as a right back
influence
though,
in the team,
6 assists in
leadership
a
in the
month
team,
record.
Ben White's playing for Arsenal. Trippier's playing for Newcastle. When he first joined Newcastle, people were talking about, oh, is he just going to come here for the money? He said, no, bro, I'm coming here to be a success, and he's doing that. He's coming here. He's creating assists. He's a good defender. Like, people don't understand how good.
Piece taker.
People don't understand how good he is defensively as
One-on-one,
well.
yeah.
One-on-ones, he's great. I've seen him have probably only one bad game, and that was against you guys, AGT at home.
Yeah.
Apart from that, like, he's solid, you know, and he's a great leader. And I feel like in terms of right backs, the best right backs, or from what you want in a fullback, is to have balance, good going forward, and also good doing your duties at the back, and he ticks that off. For
Yeah,
you.
do we all agree on Trippier then?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I agree with everything you're saying, and I
Yeah.
think Trippier is phenomenal. But I think to ignore the season that Ben White has had in a position that was originally unnatural to him, oh my days, Haaland has
Haaland
just
is
missed
having a
another
stinker, by
sitter,
the
mate.
way.
I told you, he's helping us. He's a Leeds fan at heart.
stinker, but
But
he's
to
laughing.
ignore the season that Ben White's had, like I said, he's naturally a centre-half. To go out at right-back, the consistency that you get in from him week in, week out, at the pressure of playing for a club like Arsenal and the way he's delivered, oh my
Air
God.
shot from early.
That was
Bro,
horrific.
Haaland is getting 2 goals, by the way.
No, he's not getting anything, mate. I told you, he's a Leeds fan. He's helping us
let's
out.
go through the
but
team a bit
carrying
quicker,
on Ben White, I would put a conversation in for him, but I have no problem with
Trippier's
going
in
there.
for us. Saliba, Ruben Diaz, and Zinchenko make up the back four.
Zinchenko one for me, that's a stinker. I do like Zinni. I think he's a good player, but he's been in and out of the Arsenal side quite often this season, and I feel like Nathan Ake, he's playing on the left-hand side for Man City, should have really
Got a shout.
I agree.
That
I think
note there.
Nathan Ake for me has been hands down the best left back this season. I think when you never expected him to play there, I think you look at City's backline, he's probably been the most consistent and ever-present one there as well. And I think going forward, he's been unsuspectingly good as well, much as defensively as well. So
Ruben Diaz?
Ruben Diaz, I think, a lock. I think ability-wise for me is the best centre-back. He's just missed a large chunk of the start of the season from injury, and then Pep obviously doing this thing of, I'm feeding a Kanji for the next month or so. But as soon as he came back in, I feel like that's when you saw the City defence lock up and become the machine that we're seeing now, basically.
De Bruyne, Casemiro, and Odegaard in the midfield.
I didn't agree with Casemiro, you know, because
I didn't agree with Casemiro.
The only one I don't agree with is Casemiro, I'd say.
Yes, he's been good, but I just feel like he's had games where he's been obviously banned for like 4 games in a row.
And let's be honest, those were stupid bans to pick up.
Stupid bans
Both
to
the
pick up.
yellow card against
Palace.
Arsenal and then at Palace as
Palace,
well, where
yeah.
you got sent off as well. And they cost the team in a point when they were nearly title contenders to all of a sudden now.
Through his ill discipline.
Through his ill discipline. And you got to remember, this was a
Avenge-
season
yeah.
where he's one of the leaders. He's become
a
one of the
senior
new
player.
changes.
Yeah,
and
senior
everyone's
player.
talking about, yo, Casemiro's brought a new
5
energy.
Champions Leagues.
You know how big you are to your team, and you cost them, what was it, 4 or 5 games or whatever it was,
facts,
yeah.
and the season went pretty much
But
down
the
the
fact
drain
that
after
his absence
I would say
cost
your
them so
boy.
much shows
Bruno.
I would have put
Talk,
Bruno in
talk
there.
your talk.
I personally would have put Bruno in there. I've said, for so
Or Joel
long.
Linton.
No. Bruno in that position, right? I feel like what he's doing right now, he and just know that Bruno's not a natural number 4. He's playing there just to make as a makeshift. But what he's doing there, people say, oh, he ain't got legs. But what he's doing, he's showing that he has legs. Give him the ball in any time or place on the pitch. He doesn't care. He's gonna move that ball forward, and for his impact on us, we haven't won a game this season when he's not playing.
Yeah.
And I feel like in terms of that new number 4, currently, I feel like playing in that position, I feel like Bruno's been the best this season, not Casemiro.
I agree with the Bruno shout, but I think one guy that constantly gets overlooked and it's Rodri for me.
Oh, yeah, of
I
course.
think Rodri,
Of
I
course.
think because he plays in the
Man
City
City,
team,
yeah,
because he plays in his winning side, he doesn't get the credit he deserves. But honestly, I think he is the entire glue to that City team, and I think when he's out of it, you'll see the difference. But he's very rarely out of it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Literally, what they had with Fernandinho, he's made sure they haven't missed a beat.
Polina, got to put a shout in for Polina.
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
work he's
Good
done
shout.
at Fulham
Tackles
is
in the
very,
league.
very, very
He's been
underrated. The
good.
work
Yeah.
he's
Got
done at
most
Fulham.
tackles in the league. I think it's about 130 now.
But
Way
yeah,
clear of
I
everyone
think
else.
everyone would agree Casemiro out and
Yeah.
Bruno or Rodri for me.
Yeah.
Bruno,
Casemiro
Rodri.
out.
Yeah,
I
man.
find that hard, man. Like you said, when he was out of the side, the level that you saw drop from their game.
But why is he out the side though?
Yeah, but that just shows how good he is, that when he's not there, that there's such a big gulf in class. And, I'm not one to, toot
But
the
when
horn
you're-
too much of Man United players, but Casemiro has been phenomenal since he's come.
My only thing, the reason why I think the suspension's unforgivable is you've come in as a 4-time Champions League winner or 3-time. You're one of the senior experienced guys in the dressing room.
Wasn't it 5?
Was it? No, because he wasn't there for the first one.
Is it?
I
Oh,
think
is he
so.
not?
I think it's 4 times, yeah. But I feel like he's coming. You're 30 plus as well. Like, let's not act like this is some kid who. And I understand he's a character.
5
He's a
Champions
hothead.
Leagues. he won.
5.
Cinco.
Is it
Yeah.
5?
Yeah.
Bro, check it, bro.
This is Wikipedia, bro.
No.
How do you want me to check
Casemiro,
Wikipedia?
Modric,
Honours.
Cruz,
Yeah.
Ronaldo. It's
Honours.
all 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's all 5.
He literally started in the final
Yeah.
against us last year.
Sorry, I forgot the 21-22 one.
Yeah, yeah.
That was just last year as well.
Literally started against us in the final.
Forgot that one still.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments. So many of you get involved. It's impossible to read them all. But up front, we've got Salah, Haaland and Rashford. I think Haaland is a shoo-in, but other notable mentions to play through the middle. Kane, obviously, Tony. Ollie Watkins has had a great season as well.
Yeah.
Haaland's clear in
Yeah,
that.
he's-
regard.
But Salah should be there.
No,
I
stop
don't
it, Alex.
really agree with that train of thought that just because he's not having his best season, that's because his level is so high. And a bad season for him is like 28 goals.
I know.
He scored 30
I
goals
know,
still this
I know,
season.
but
No
that's
Salah.
what we compare players to is themselves.
So
essentially. It's
who
like,
would you have ahead of him?
I'm sorry, as much as I'm part of the haters club, I have to say Bukayo Saka walks into that right side.
Walks.
For me. I'm sorry. Salah, you've been good, but for me, you have been nowhere near the Salah I expected. That level.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
He's still
you can
bad
say you're
though,
measuring
bro.
him by his own standard. It's what we do with Messi. It's what we do
Yeah,
with Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
Like, once you start to fall off your level a little bit, it's like, yeah, you're nice,
But he's
but
still
you're not
bagging,
what
though.
you used to be. And this is the thing. I think you're being blurred by the numbers because I've been watching Salah with my eyes, and there have been games when I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
And
There should be
he's-
games where you should be carrying
just-
this through.
he-
And
he's just
I'll be
finding
honest with you,
form.
the second half of the season, he's
Yeah,
kind of lifted
exactly,
more.
yeah.
The
The
first
first half,
half,
it stunk it up, man. Stunk it up.
Still scored a lot of goals though.
But
it was
4 away
smelling
in
though.
3 minutes against Rangers.
his goals were probably, most of them were in Champions League. But then,
Scored the winner against City at home. at
but this
Anfield.
season, his form came into play probably like February in the Premier League. So I feel like with Salah, yes, we know that he scored X goals this season, but it's not the Salah that we know, and it hasn't been consistent in the Premier League. And if we're talking about in the Premier League, who's been the
2
most
goals
consistent?
in 2023 for Saka, by the way.
No,
in the
I
whole
understand
of 2023.
that. I understand that.
Great
And in
first
the crunch
half of the
time-
season.
In the crunch time, he has disappeared as well.
He
for
has.
Sure.
So for me,
But
Salah stays in that team. For me,
I still
personally.
think if you pound for pound look at what they've done for each team and which one has
But it's
meant
about
more. I'm
the
looking at
season,
Salah
man.
and I'm at Saka and I'm like, bro, you
Not
were
turned
a
up in
huge
big
part.
games, though.
I get that, but for the title charge, and who expected Arsenal to be in the title race at the start of the season?
No,
we expected you
100%
guys.
no one.
Where was
Yeah,
Salah
of
at the start of
course.
the season? Nowhere near.
course.
He was one of the reasons why you were so far back. So now all of a sudden, because he's recovered it second half, we're going to praise it.
It's too late, yeah.
Let's keep a balance. And my thing is
But
I
2
expect
goals
it.
in 4 months.
I'm just saying,
Team
look,
of the year.
I'm trying to be objective here. You're giving your Liverpool bias.
I'm just giving you the facts, though. It's 2
It's
goals.
not just goals,
in
it's everything
2023.
You're
else
giving me
he
numbers.
offers to the team.
No,
Saka's been
Please
You're giving me
don't
numbers.
confuse-
Don't let
confuse
numbers
this
blur
with-
your-
This is
your-
clearly
your eyes.
Saka's best season for him. Clearly is. And I'll give him his props. He's been unbelievable at times. Great balance. He definitely makes defenders go back and into their shell. He puts pressure on. But if you're talking about 11 players that are supposed to represent in their position, the best in that position, I would say,
This
and we've
season.
seen it
Did you not
across
show-
many
shoehorn
years
them both
and this
in?
season.
Did you not show
I mean, you
shoehorn
could play
both in?
Salah up front through the middle, but then Haaland's
Not
out.
through
So
the
you
middle,
play
put him on the
Haaland.
left. Or Saka on the
I
left.
mean, I would say Saka's had a better season than Rashford, and
That's
Rashford's
what I
in
mean.
the team.
No, but
I mean, could you
one
not
plays on the
shoehorn
right,
him
one
on-
on
I
the
know,
I mean,
but
could you not
you
shoehorn
do
one on the left?
something.
No,
You
no,
could
no,
do
no, you
something.
They're
can't.
forwards, man.
But anyway, I'm sticking with Salah. That is the team of the season. We've done a poll. How many of you agree with the team of the season? 75% have said
Disagree.
no.
Yeah.
They don't. No is the answer as well. Salah is Sterling 2.0, says John Biggins. Big up to you.
Nah, he's not as good as Sterling.
Of course. He scored 2 against Palace alone. What a pleb, says Gent next door as well. But anyway, there's your FIFA Ultimate Team of the season. Let us know if you agree or not in the chat. We are a couple of minutes away from the first half's ending. It's still Bournemouth 1, Chelsea 1. City are 2-0 up at home to Leeds. Tottenham 0, Crystal Palace 0. And obviously Wolves are still holding on in the 44th minute against Aston Villa. Only game with no goals is at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium at the minute. There's 2,000 of you watching, and there's only 260 likes, Fuad.
Get the likes up, people.
on.
Come on. Tippy tappy, tippy tappy, tippy tappy.
It's
It
not
takes
hard.
2 seconds. Go
If
on
that.
pause. You know what I'm saying? It's free
Gosh.
as well, surprisingly.
And it helps.
Go on, bash that button,
Definitely
please.
helps. No goals, though.
Hey, I'm not surprised. It's that time of the season where we've really got nothing to play for, let's be honest. Spurs aren't making Champions League. If I'm honest, I don't think any Spurs fan is interested in Europa League or Conference League. It's fine, bro. I've accepted our fate a long time ago, trust me. I'm good with ninth no European football, get a chance to rebuild. 1 game a week.
But with that though, you lot finishing ninth. I don't feel like that suits Spurs. I feel like Spurs need to be in Europe because you're not the sort of team that can say no Europe. Let's now focus on trying to win the Premier League.
No. Whoa.
Yeah,
No.
right,
We're not- the aim is not take a break so we can. The aim is take a break so we can rebuild a club.
Right. So
we are in a
So they
shambles.
can avoid
Kane is
the
going to leave in the
relegation
summer. We're
And
going to
that-
have a new manager
and that
coming
is
in.
why
We're going to have
you
a
need-
transition.
And that's why you
We
need
don't
to,
need
to-
European football.
No, but
we already have a thin squad that is going to need a clear out, and you think we need extra games to stretch so I can have Rodon and Dyer and all these men playing in Europa League and get me embarrassed.
Right,
So I
so-
can get dumped out by a manager in prison again.
But what
So I can
benefit
get
is
dumped
it-
out by NS Mora again. Please, no mas. No mas. No more trips to Croatia or Hungary or Belgium and getting embarrassed by Ghent. Anderlecht, no mas, please.
Right, but
Let me
what is-
focus next season on just fixing my starting 11. I'm going to lose a big piece in Harry Kane.
Yeah.
The Harry Kane era is going to come to an end.
Yeah.
A new manager is going to come in, whether it's Nagelsmann, Enrique. Give him the summer, give him January to try and build a solid 11. You have Bentancur, you have Kulusevski, you have Romero, you have 4 or 5 pieces that maybe you can build the next team around. Destiny coming in the summer, Porro you just signed in January. Go and add a few more pieces to that. See what you can build under this new manager. Get that 11 right. If you can get that 11 right, then we can talk about, all right, maybe we can finish 5th and 6th next year. Maybe we can, I don't know, do a cup run with just the 11. But if you're thinking we've got squad depth to compete in Europe, hey.
I just think you being in Europe for me is more beneficial because it helps you even bring in more players.
No.
And I feel
There's
like,
been a goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium
speak
just
of the
before
devil.
half time.
I bet you son.
And who has scored
Well,
that goal? Fuad.
Harry Kane More than likely.
It's Emerson Royale.
Quick
Well,
bets.
right,
It is Harry Kane. I told y'all.
Mate, as soon as they hear you talking about how you don't want to get into Europe, they're like, nah, not having any of this. We can't have Fuad smiling.
This happened last year as well, I remember, where it was like, yo, back in the season, they just turned it on and we got Europe in the end. But for me, I hear what you're saying about the signings thing, but then if you look at last year, we had Champions League football, we had a world-class manager, and we supposedly had 150 million to spend in the summer.
Yeah.
What did we do with it?
But Kane's going now, bro.
But we had all of that. As you said, we qualified for Champions League, not even Europa League, you're saying. Champions League. And we got Richarlison.
Bro, no,
Jed Spence.
No, bro.
We got Langley.
Bro, Richie,
we got...
Last summer, I'm sure you weren't saying that. I'm sure...
Tell him what I was saying. Because I was sat on this very platform. I go on my IG. There's a clip still up on my IG that I refuse to take down so people know what I thought of that summer last year when I told, man, the second Jed Spence walked through the door, I said, yeah, Conte wants title-winning right-backs, and you lot are giving him a gamble from the Championship.
Spence,
you lot are signing 60
did say
million
to buy Jed Spence.
as a backup.
Yeah.
I said, get Jed Spence, but that cannot be the starting option. And people started crying about why is he not starting ahead of Emerson? Because he's a gamble from the Championship. He has to adapt to the Premier League. He has to adapt to Conte's tactics. It's too much to take on.
What's going on at Leeds? It is now half time.
I can't believe what I just seen there. Nanto's slipped over on the grass and he's kind of nudged into Riyad Mahrez and he somehow got booked.
It was a slip.
This is the most criminal officiating I've ever seen.
Anyway, it is half time at the Etihad. It's 2-0 to Manchester City. Leeds with
done,
a big team talk needed from Big Sam in this big 15-minute period now. It's also half time at the Molineux Stadium. Wolves 1, Aston Villa 0. Deep into added time at Bournemouth as well. A potential penalty shout there in the Bournemouth colours, but it's 48 minutes there. Should be wrapped up any second now. It's still 1-0 in that game as well. In the Premier League, it is now half time. And Milan did beat Lazio 2-0 as well in Serie A. Let's talk about Newcastle.
Come on.
Massive game tomorrow against the Gunners. You did the dirt on them last time. They went up there. Before I get into talking about which targets you could be looking at in the summer, tomorrow's game, massive for both teams, obviously, but if they drop points, tomorrow, is that it over officially, the title race?
If you're in a place where you need points, right? If you're probably in the bottom three or you're trying to get top four, win the league, the last place you want to go to is Newcastle.
True.
Because the only team to beat us this season, Liverpool. The only team to beat us that's not Liverpool at our ground, it was Man City, and that was in 2021. So we haven't lost to a team outside, obviously, the Big Six at home in a long time. So Arsenal, I feel like now that the pressure's off them, they could obviously put in a performance, and they understand what happened.
Well, the pressure's still on them.
No, but it's off them in terms of like they're not first, so they're chasing now, right? So
still pressure to keep up though.
Yeah, but it's sort of changed a little bit mentally because they're not being hunted down. So we could see a different Arsenal, but Newcastle at home, from what we've done to Spurs, United at our ground, we are relentless, and I feel like the boys are just going to keep going and getting stronger, and we want top four, and we want to get Champions League, and I'm so happy that we are where we are with these players, because these are the guys that were with us when we were fighting relegation. So to now be in top four, to be third, I don't think it's spoken about enough. But the game tomorrow, which I'm going to, I do feel like we can make it hard for them, but I do feel Arsenal will come out and they'll try and get us back for what we did to them last season. So,
what do you think about Eddie Howe? Because when he first came in, a lot of people were talking about him potentially being a transitional manager while you brought the new ownership in to get you to a certain point, and then bringing someone else in to build the squad to challenge for Europe. But what he's done and how far he's got you, how far do you see him building his project?
With Eddie Howe, it's like all you got to do is just look at what he done with Bournemouth. It's not easy to have a team that's probably bottom of League Two, to take them all the way to the Premier League, keep them there for a couple of years. And I watched an interview with him, and he was talking about how much it hurt him when they went down, and what he had to do. So he spent some time away from the game, and he studied himself. he changed his whole way of thinking. He started to write things down and have like a policy on certain things. So his own policy on let's say bad or players who aren't playing well, or players who are giving sort of bad vibes in the change room. So he's had to sort of change all of that. He went away to the top clubs in Europe to watch them train, to watch the top managers train. So he took some time to invest in himself, because he was saying how when he was at Bournemouth, it was just like there was no time to blink. So from him doing that, he was ready to come into Newcastle. And when we appointed him, I said, "This is the guy," because you know I could see where we were going and what he'd done at Bournemouth, and the way he's changed everything. Like,
so how far do you see him taking you,
bro,
realistically?
Do you know what? Yeah, I don't even know, because he's brought us top 3.
Do you
top
think
4.
he has the bottle for a title race in 3-4 years?
Bro,
or the ability?
Listen, with this squad, right, with players like John Linton, Longstaff, Jacob Murphy, Willock, all these guys were playing in our squad when we had Steve Bruce. Yeah, cool, we've brought in Bruno and Trippier, but still, like, the base of this team is still the same. And we're third after 1 year. So,
well, I'm talking about when he brings all the egos in and they're even more top players, and you have to juggle all that kind of stuff in an actual title race, something 3-4 years down the line. Do you see enough in him to suggest that he can
I think he is well prepared for the next stages at Newcastle. From what he's done for us already, I feel like backing with some more extra money, he's well equipped to deal with those players. You know, because he himself, he said that he now knows how to deal with them. He's written down a policy for himself. So I would probably see him. Like, people are saying, will he take us to the next level? We're there now. Literally, and so now the next level is.
But it's about maintaining.
It's almost like you're growing with him at the same time.
At the same time, after 1 year,
he hasn't been to this level. You haven't been to this level, but the fact that he's taking you there is giving you the belief.
Both learning really well on the job, basically.
So
both of you.
I think you give him the chance to run until he can't run no more.
Yeah.
So.
Like what we did with Pochettino, let's be honest, because when he came in, he had no Champions League, he had no winning credentials, but you could see every season he was building something. It was like, all right, keep going, until we decided, you know, we're not going to back him. Let's go and get Jose. I think the difference with you guys is you guys actually do have the backing. You do have an ownership that believes in him as well, I feel like. And as you said, with what he's done with the basic guys like Murphy and these guys, he doesn't even strike me as the kind of manager who's going to this summer, for example, go for an Mbappe, or
he's not going to do that.
A Neymar is available. No, he's seen players like Isaac. Okay, I can develop him, I can mold him, I can turn him into one of my guys. Those kind of young, hungry,
of course,
next ones up, rather than go for that has-been superstar, if that makes sense.
And he says part of his plan or his niche is to develop players. So that's why we're seeing players playing better under him. And I do feel like he can take us to that next level, which is now, but further on, which is to challenge with backing now that we're in top 4 or going to get top 4.
Who would be, if you had to give like 3 names?
Oh, man. Players
this summer that if you think, all right, you know what, we're in the Champions League now, give me 1, 2, 3.
Right, so Champions League is so massive, right? And people think
You've got the pool now as well, yeah.
Okay, cool. I want Declan Rice. People feel like we can't get Declan Rice in. Bro, we've got Champions League football. He's playing at West Ham. So for him, the next level up is Newcastle now. So Declan Rice, I'll take him out all day, 80 million. Because he fits the bill. He's English, he's young. We're building a young team around English players too.
Yeah.
Fits the bill.
Mason Mount
at Chelsea, he ain't playing.
Yeah.
He still ends.
I think you've got to aim a bit higher than that.
I was going to say Madison.
No,
I'm hearing Neymar and
Madison
Sadio Mane.
and Rice is a 2. Madison Rice.
Champions League winner Mason Mount.
With a Bruno in the middle.
But hang on a minute. But I'm saying Mason Mount because
I get what you're saying from the winning experience aspect.
Also on how Eddie Howe plays. So obviously with a number 4 and 2 8s.
Yeah.
Madison changes that completely because now we've got to have probably
more
a 10.
Yeah.
Mason Mount is like Joe Willock, where they got energy. Like they
I
can.
don't think you need Mount at all.
They can do that role.
Got Anthony Gordon
going forward. Who? Anthony Gordon, but he's more of a winger.
What do you think about him, by the way? Obviously, he's had his
young, bro. Yeah,
issues and everything.
Yeah, but
He can't be coming off basically shrugging off Eddie Howe like that. And as you said, you know, he's obviously clearly changed his philosophy and how he deals with
well after that.
Brentford, yeah. With Gordon, it's like people forget he's 21. For Foden's 22, and so he's really young. He's got time to learn. He's coming to obviously Newcastle where it's a different setup for him. So he's gonna learn. Like he's not coming here to be that guy. Eddie Howe's gonna hash that out of him and say, bro, I get that you want to play football, but don't bring that into this hinge of him.
Yeah.
But Mason Mount, I say that because of how he play. We play with number 8s, and I feel like Mason Mount is perfect because he helps us defensively and going forward.
Yeah.
He's that engine. The third one, it's a bit of a tricky one, man. But
I'm hearing, I mean, in this report here, I'm hearing superstar players such as Neymar and Ronaldo are around to take this summer.
Man.
But I heard Sadio Mane as well, maybe to Newcastle.
I would want somebody that we're linked for a while, is Diaby from Leverkusen. So again, a young player who can take, so who's probably better than what we have.
I like that because I always feel like that Almiron Murphy position. Yeah, they're guys who are doing jobs now.
Yeah.
But I feel like if they were coming off the bench, they also would still do the same job, if that makes sense. Like they're willing runners, they're pressers. But if you have that kind of extra bit of quality in someone like a Moussa Diaby, I think the big thing you lot need to do to some of those offload ASM. No. I don't think he's a franchise piece. He thought he was going to be when the takeover happened, but you guys also seem to be fine when he's not there. Yeah, that's the other thing. So, and I hear the thing of, he's coming off the bench, but he's on big wages as well. And I feel like if you do cash in on him, it kind of just moves away from the individualists within the dressing room. Yeah, and you fully buy into Eddie Howe.
But that's gone already, though. That stuff doesn't happen anymore. But I feel like with ASM, bro, we're in Champions League now, so squad depth. So ASM is like the big teams now, like Liverpool or Man City, anyways. Why they win isn't because of their first 11; it's because of their squad depth.
Yeah.
So we need to keep our quality, but also have that depth too. So even if he's not playing every game,
Diaby, ASM on the wings as well.
It's frightening.
Yeah.
And then kill him at
Isak up top.
It's frightening. So why get rid of him when there's still room for him to improve under Eddie Howe?
Yeah.
And we have that quality in depth, and that's what we need, that quality in depth. So keep ASM, and obviously get a winger, keep obviously Isak, and then obviously Mason Mount and Declan Rice.
I don't know. I think ASM's quite a frustrating player to watch. Like if I was a Newcastle fan, I'd get very frustrated with him. He's got all the talent, all the quality, but his end product and his decision making at times, it just leaves you baffled.
But it's getting better under Eddie Howe. It's getting much better.
Getting better, but like you said, the options out there, the plethora of options that you could get that would not only help the team more, but be a lot more consistent. I personally think it'd be a good move.
I'm seeing 80 million for Rafinha, which I feel like is just Barcelona, just being Barcelona.
No, I think that's a steal for a player like Rafinha. Personally.
80 million.
80
Honestly,
million.
You're getting ripped off, bro.
No, Rafinha is
80 million.
Bro. Rafinha is one of the greatest players to ever grace Europe. He is unreal. His left foot is sweeter than.
Why do you do this though? Like,
no, I'm genuine.
No, why do you do this to yourself?
I genuinely think Rafinha's unreal. He's the best player
I've ever
seen.
But not 80 million worth, man.
Okay, moving on swiftly. Joel, the 7 foot £400 free throw merchant, says Newcastle have to continue to spend smartly. Money doesn't equal success, as we know. Liverpool outspent United from the 90s to 2010 and won nothing. United 2013 plus outspent City and won nothing as well. You've been very, I wouldn't say careful, but
shrewd,
methodical around your signings, like Isak, who's been unbelievable. I think 10 goals in 17.
Isak was like
the one assist, by the way. That was the other day.
The marquee signing, so that we spent money.
I feel
on
like Bruno was the first one to say like, "Hey,
hey,
we're trying."
But the other guys,
the one we're letting our nuts
the
hang.
Botmans, Dan Burn for 12 million, the Trippiers for 12 million, the Nick Popes. These guys are the ones who I feel like
offered that stability,
because other clubs will spend probably 40 million and buy a right back or buy a keeper for 75 million, whatever. But we've done it our way, and I'm glad because everyone thought Neymar, Mbappe, Nah, man, we're doing it our way, and it's honest, and we're third in the Premier League, bro.
It's crazy.
It's mad.
It's been a mad season, hasn't it? Ozan Kabak asks, yo, big up AGT. Question, who would win in a 100-metre hurdle race between all four of you on the panel right now?
Me, 100%.
No way.
Hurdle race?
You wouldn't beat me in a race, not a snowball chance in hell, mate. I am
Mate.
rapid, mate. Imagine if
I don't-
Usain Bolt
think-
was
I don't-
diminutive
You
in
can't
stature.
even jump
that's
over
me.
a hurdle, mate.
Huh? Mate, have you seen my legs?
Hurdles coming up to his head, like.
Mate, just because I'm short, my legs are long, man.
You
Got
ain't
long
jumping
limbs.
up-
Mate,
you seen
I would
that
pace you backwards.
The 100-meter hurdle race where that geezer runs into the first one and just that's him.
Nah, man, I'm like a prime Raheem Sterling, mate. No
Like a
chance of
gazelle,
catching
mate.
me.
Yeah.
One thing
Like
though,
a
I want to
gazelle.
say, Fuad though, yeah, I've watched you a lot, yeah. You said something, and I thought, I don't really agree.
What's
Which was when you said that the quality of the Premier League is poor, and that's why teams like Newcastle are in the top 4.
Wow.
You
All
could
coming
say
back
that.
to him
well,
now.
if you look at
It's all
where
coming
Chelsea
back.
are this
Acid
season, if
reflux.
you look at where Liverpool are this
Liverpool are.
season, if you look at how Spurs are playing this season,
Yeah.
there's and I said the reason why I said that about you lot is because we capitalized on it for years. We saw when Arsenal were fluffing around. There's top 4's always been like that. Top 4, you always get teams fumbling it, and then someone like you, a Leicester or us, will always capitalize on it. There's no shame in it.
But do you feel
It's the reality of the situation. The problem is you have to be good to actually go and take that spot. Previous years, we've been good enough to take that spot. This year, you lot have shown to be good enough to take that spot. There's no shame in it.
But do you feel like if the league was so poor, that Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs will be where they are, or they'll be still in the top 4?
So in my eyes, if we were at the start of the season and everyone was performing at how they should be, I don't think Newcastle would be in the top 4. I think you lot would be 5th, 6th, 7th maybe, and you lot would be happy with that. I think start of the season, if I said to you, you'll be finishing the Carabao final, you will finish 6th, you would have said, yeah, I'll take that. That's progress.
I'll take all
But
day.
now that you're in 3rd, why is that? Because Chelsea have fallen a mile off, because Liverpool have fallen a mile off, because Spurs are being so inconsistent, because United are being inconsistent.
Or because that the Premier League is still competitive and these teams can't handle it. Whereas there's now other teams
Don't know about can't handle it.
Bro,
I don't know.
they're sitting top of the league.
I'm just, that's, you asked me why I think it, that's why I think
But
it.
everyone's had an off season, and it's like Leicester were tickling around Champions League spots for a couple of years. I think if you don't take advantage of the position you're in and very quickly invest to try and step to that next level within a couple of years, I think you could easily get stuck back down to 7th, 8th, 9th.
Yeah,
There's not
'cause-
the luxury of sitting in the top 4 like there was back in the day, because you've got so many clubs now with
have to
such great
progress,
investment.
yeah.
As you said, in a couple of years, Chelsea will return to the top 4. Liverpool will return to the top
This is
4.
where you
Arsenal,
really,
United,
yeah,
City.
this summer for Newcastle.
So that's
this
where
is where you
literally-
really put your mark down now
Yeah.
and say we're here for the next 2 to 4 years.
4
not
years,
just
literally. And
flashing
bro,
the pan
that-
third.
and
I think you will though. I think you will stick around naturally because of the investment and all that. Newcastle fan is deluded, says Duncan.
why?
Is that big Duncan
yeah,
Ferguson?
let us know why. I love this Leeds guy. What is his name? Says
Oh,
Quofi.
thank you. How much have you paid him
what
to
is
say
your
that?
name?
My name's James.
There it is. No, it is. I thought it was James.
You forgot my name. How long you known me? This guy,
Obviously,
huh?
man,
Get a
come
load
on.
of this guy.
EQ says, yep, James speaking facts. Anyone on the panel
time for
think that
everything.
Stones and Dunk would be a good combo for England? Dunk's been a fantastic
Tomori
player.
now?
Tomori. The amount of
Always gets
disrespect
overlooked.
this Fikayo Tomori gets,
But
I've had enough of it.
Maldini seems to think he's one of the best centre-backs he's ever seen, but
He's
Gareth
played 100
Southgate
games for AC
seems to think
Milan.
Dyer and Maguire are better. So.
Yeah, but it's just because obviously out of sight, out of mind, isn't it? It's that saying out of sight.
I know, but why should you be punished for going abroad, revitalising your career?
I agree with you. I agree.
Winning a title.
Winning the title for the
Yeah.
first time in a long time, and also, you know, he's in a Champions League semi-final right now.
Facts. Yeah.
Why all of that is surely better than what Harry Maguire and Eric Dyer did.
But it's Harry
But
Maguire. mate.
anyway, I don't even care at this point.
And that's why England won't get to that
No,
level
but Harry
where-
Maguire's been
thankfully,
amazing for
yeah.
England, so I'm
hope
not going to
so.
hear that argument, man.
Big up to Lewis Brown, who says Anderson of Crystal Palace. He's not English though. It's
Danish.
Scandinavian.
Danish.
Yeah, Danish.
Cinnamon swirl.
James' hair comes out when his team is winning, says Atkins Carr.
Yeah, that's true.
So
And
it's back
by the
in,
looks
isn't
of things, this bun is staying on for the rest of the season, unfortunately.
Fuad got his hair done for the coronation, says Rai Rilo.
Hey, man, they wish.
Yeah,
for the
exactly.
coronation and the cremation of Leeds' Premier League endeavours.
Wow, this Leeds fan is awesome, says Lalu Pato as well.
How much are you paying these guys? This is the first time I've heard anything like this.
It's because he's not reading
just
out
a
all the
quick-
mean comments.
I'm just making all these up.
I can see it as well. I can see it,
Trying to
man.
make me feel better after this game.
See how confident he is when Arsenal beat them tomorrow, says Darren AFC.
Ooh.
Big smoke.
What is your score
Big
prediction
smoke.
for that one?
Tomorrow. Oh, well, Newcastle Arsenal. I'm going 2-1 Newcastle.
Scorers?
Scorers.
Isak double. Let them know.
Nah.
Should have signed me.
Joe Linton and Isak. But obviously we score, Arsenal score, and then we get the second. Arsenal will make it difficult.
Of course they will, yeah.
But coming to Newcastle right now, it's not the place you want to go to for points.
Apart from Liverpool.
I heard on Nick Pope, was it? He was on, I think, Ben Foster's podcast.
Yeah.
And he was saying that
Good old Fozzie.
St. James's, I've never been to St. James's, but apparently it's on a slope.
Yeah,
Is that true?
Yeah,
So it's like there's one
I've
of the
been
goals
there, man.
basically, like from one end of the field to the other, there's like a 2 meter difference from the height.
I don't know that part of it, but
Yeah.
it's actually on a hill, innit? So
That's
that
mad.
might impact like the
Yeah, because apparently they say like there comes a half and Newcastle always choose to play down the hill. So it's like, I'm like, all the time we thought ASM was super rapid. He's really just running downhill.
Basically, yeah.
It's like, yo, it's mad though.
There was
My lord, did you just see that?
Haaland
missed from 1 yard out.
wow. Let's
He
have another look
he
at
just
this.
rattled the
Cross
post.
comes in from De Bruyne.
Yeah, deep free kick.
Haaland
I think he
just
just offside
maybe off.
Ake there. Flicked in. Wow.
Oh my word! Wow. Haaland should have had a hat trick in this
How
game
are we
already.
hanging on by I told you he's a Leeds fan,
Oh
man.
my
I told
word.
you. He doesn't want to
Well, his
relegate
dad's
us.
watching. His dad played for Leeds, as we all know.
He was conceived in the Ellen Road changing rooms. You know, he wants to give back to the place where he came from. You know, he wants to give back. Bring Calvin Phillips on. Let him score a couple of own goals. You know, let's sort this out.
As we've already just mentioned, second halves have re-kicked off. 50 minutes gone now at the Vitality, and Leeds are hanging on here at home. City at home.
I'm sorry, you need 2 goals or 3 goals rather, and you got Patrick Bamford up front. It's just not going to happen, is it? It's just
Probably not.
I couldn't.
We're also
Finish
hearing
on a
as well,
script, though.
very recently, that Julian Nagelsmann, age 35, has now held talks with Tottenham Hotspur about the vacant job. I mean, this search has gone on for some time now in terms of nailing down a name for next season. Obviously, Ryan Mason has taken over an interim charge, but are you maybe a bit confused about how long this has taken to maybe sort out?
No.
No? Fair enough.
No, I'm not confused at all. I think this is Tottenham Hotspurs. This is what we do. If you remember 2 years ago when we had a full-team managerial process, we went from Fonseca to Nuno. We ended up with in the end after we couldn't get Conte, but we ended up with Conte in the end as well. So it's the Spurs merry-go-round. I don't expect a manager to actually be in place till about midway of the transfer window.
Who do you want?
To the first game. of the
Personally,
season.
I've said I would prefer someone kind of off the grid who people maybe are going to be introduced to. Marcelo Gallardo he was former River Plate manager, lost top talents every year, played a good brand of football, won multiple titles there. So for me, it's like you've got winning credentials, the kind of limited budget, but developing talent, you could do that as well. And that's kind of what we need
he's
to go
part of
through.
the Pochettino school.
You're not going to get, nah.
Yeah, he's another Bielsa protege, like Pochettino. They both learnt from
I
the
don't know
best.
about all of this
They both
Bielsa.
learnt from the
He
wise
just wants to
man.
bring Bielsa
And that was
in.
our man.
We're
That was
talking
the man
Tottenham.
we're going
talking
for.
Tottenham. We're not talking relegation clubs.
No,
please.
we're not talking.
Yeah?
What do you mean relegation?
You'll be in the
club?
championship.
Your best
When we talk
manager also
championship-
learnt from him. Pochettino, as I've said, they both came from the same cloth.
Nobody cares.
So if you're talking about your greatest manager
nobody
you've
cares,
ever
bro.
seen,
Genuinely, nobody cares.
nobody cares
but
about what your greatest manager.
Gallardo is one I would consider. Ruben Amorim, I think at Sporting, he's another good one. I've said Nagelsmann is a good option as well, but the problem with Nagelsmann is he's going to kind of come with a similar expectation of Spurs better win in the next 18 months. And it's like, bro, we need a whole reset at this club. And it's going to take, I feel like, 2 years maybe for us to actually get back in Champions League contention. And if Nagelsmann comes in, I hope he knows what he's walking into is my thing. I hope he doesn't walk in thinking he's going to get what he's got at Bayern and RB Leipzig. RB Leipzig have an actual structure. RB Leipzig have an actual recruitment team. We don't have a director of football. Our one just got sent to the bin.
Literally,
Do you see what I'm saying? So for me, those would be the ideal. Gallardo, even though he hasn't been linked with the job, he's got ticks all the right boxes for me. Amorim, he's been linked, but I think he's another manager who plays 5 at the back. So I don't know if Spurs fans want to see that again, in all honesty. But Nagelsmann ticks, I think, every box and some. The problem is I don't think the board will back him the way he needs to be backed to rebuild this club. But if he does come in, give him the fucking keys, man. 8
And
years.
time as well.
Let
Give
him
time.
like I want that guy to grow old at our club.
But he's 35.
He's 35.
He's young. So give
Stay
him
here
time.
till you're 45.
Yeah.
Let this club build in your vision, type of thing. But the question is will the board actually give him the keys?
That is the question that every Tottenham manager faces when they step foot into that
And
club.
you thought Conte, world-class manager in his prime right now, he
Mourinho,
would get it. Mourinho, proven winner, won everywhere he's gone. He didn't get it.
Yeah,
Pochettino, you've built us to this point, took us to a Champions League while spending zero. He didn't get the
Right,
keys.
so if you know all these guys didn't get the keys, so why do you expect someone to now start to get the keys? Like
That for me is why I'm not surprised by why this managerial merry-go-round is going on. Because the club doesn't know what the hell it wants to be. The club wants to pretend to be a bigger club, but you have to act like one. You have to actually get in good recruitment. You have to actually spend money. You have to actually put your hand in your own pocket. Outside of the Glazers, they are the least in terms of putting their own money into the club.
Yeah.
All other 18 chairmen put their own hands into their pockets. So that tells me you don't give a shit. So for me, if you want to keep trying to be a top club on a minimum budget, it's never going to happen. You got big dreams on a tramp's change.
I feel like,
It ain't gonna work.
like Spurs are what Arsenal were. So like they weren't. So Spurs are not. They've not obviously won a trophy, right? And
But that's the key difference that we need to make sure of there, because even Arsenal in their downturn was still winning trophies.
No, but that period where top four was enough. Yeah. So Spurs have they've leaned on that for so long, and obviously them getting a stadium was from being in Champions League. So, but there's only so far that gets you. And I feel like,
Bro, we bought decorations for the house before putting the foundations.
Exactly.
Like, why you got a stadium when you've got no silverware?
Exactly.
When you've got a squad that's on the verge of basically trying to build something, you crux us financially. It don't make sense. You should have learned from West Ham. You should have learned from Arsenal. Arsenal, you could say they were held back, but they were held back because of the stadium, and they knew that was going to happen. Now it's a whole different scenario. Last 2-3 summers, they've been one of the top spenders. But that's because the owners care.
yeah.
We
Is
don't
that not
have one that
something that's
actually
going to
cares.
cost you, though, moving into that massive new stadium?
Of course it would.
Because I was
that's what we're
surprised
talking
that you
about.
guys were still actually spending quite a bit of money after moving in. Like, if you look at the effect that it's had on Arsenal, it took them like 12 years before they actually
Exactly.
managed
Like,
to
it
get
takes
over
time.
it.
It takes a long time to come out of that period of probably just thinking top four is enough and trying to pay off this massive stadium that you don't have. It takes a lot of time.
You know what I think?
Teams are getting richer too.
You know what I think
So-
your owners are actually waiting for? I think they're waiting for that Super League to come rolling around again.
I think
Because
they're
that will
rolling out,
come
though.
again within a couple of years. And I think there's a lot of owners there, the Kroenkes, your owners especially, that probably built that new stadium in anticipation for that. Because that Super League, when it all came at the click of a finger, that had been planned for years. Levy, Enoch, whatever, they'd been part of those conversations. It had been planned.
Yeah.
It's probably a big reason why Todd Bowley even came and took over Chelsea, because of all this stuff there. So I think that will come around again. I hope when it does rear its ugly head that these clubs, or the clubs like Newcastle with their Saudi ownership, have enough staying power to push them away and keep the integrity of the league. But I think your owners especially are probably sat there waiting for it. Because that's a big, big pot of gold.
That's done, man.
That's an
done,
extra
I think,
300. What's done?
Super League.
No, it's not done.
It's coming back,
It's
man.
coming back. If you heard every single owner, every single manager after, none of them said it was done. They all said it's done in this current guise, in this
It will
current
come
form.
back around,
It
as we
will
know.
come back.
Great chat that on who will be the next Tottenham manager, the difficulties that each manager would face. 55 minutes into the 3 o'clock kickoffs, all the scores remain the same. Don't forget, if you're into your boxing, tonight from 2 a.m. we've got Golden Boy Canelo Alvarez versus John Ryder.
Massive fight.
Watch along here on DR Sports. We've got Laurie, Nick, we've got this guy, James T, and we've got
got me
Shane
back
as well.
again.
So make sure that you're on the channel from 2 a.m. And don't forget, a massive competition on Track GP. Find out how you can win a PS5.
Competition time again, and here is a chance to win a brand new PS5. All you got to do is subscribe to On Track GP on YouTube.
Also follow us on Instagram at OnTrackGP. Make sure you like the competition post. It's pinned on Instagram as well.
You can win yourself this right now. What
Sunday, 8 p.m.
Miami Grand Prix.
We are having a party.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We got Sand, we got Sam. I'm Sam.
We've got all of us in the studio. It's going to be a great night.
We're ready to go. See you.
Everyone go check out DR Sports Talking Tactics right now. Matisse, tell them, why should they watch this?
Because we're sick.
All right, is that all you're going to give? All right, fair enough. Because we're sick. Go watch the show right now.
Welcome back to the Forever Arsenal podcast.
Black, white, young, old, Leeds on there. Disabled, abled, man. It doesn't.
Smith Rowe didn't get a minute yesterday. Not a minute that needs minutes. Where's he going to get his minutes from now? Get your notifications on, ladies and gentlemen. Tactical's out tomorrow.
I think the idea of Mesut Ozil was better than the actual reality of.
Your mic, not turn your camera off.
For the audio listeners, Leeds in pieces. Leeds in pieces.
Fan zone. My friend Elliot from Canada.
We are still
Say we are
top of the league. We are top of the league. We are top of the league. Say we are top of the league.
Allows any fan, anywhere you are on the planet, to broadcast live into our shows at the push of a button via our website or app.
I'm tired of hearing about the Europa League like it's silverware. So is the League Cup. So is the Dubai Cup. So is the Community Shield.
Ah, Michael, come on, they're not the same level.
No, I mean it.
Cecile. My guy.
Fan Zone on AFTV Plus. You can download it on iOS.
There you go. That's how you can win a PS5. If you go to the On Track GP Instagram, you can find out a lot more about it and enter yourself in the competition. So good to know about that one. An hour ago, by the way, we've had an update from Fabrizio, who says this: Real Madrid are set to schedule the final meeting with Borussia Dortmund to negotiate the final fee for Bellingham. Sources feel the package could be close to 120/130 mil for sure. Will include add-ons as part of the negotiation as well. The new meeting will take place in May. Real Madrid want to respect Dortmund as they're now in the title race. Man City remain interested in Bellingham, but they also feel Real Madrid are close to signing Jude and see this deal as now unlikely.
That's got to sting you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All those meals out with Trent not doing anything.
Absolutely, it was almost
All
harassment at one stage
everything.
from Henderson. But I have to say, moving on in terms of new targets for Liverpool, get Alexis McAllister through the door. Ice in the veins, that penalty. Premier League proven, World Cup winner, technician, box to box, scores goals, great free kicks,
from Jude Bellingham to McAllister.
But that's the reality. We've got to move on.
I don't
have
know
to
if
move
he's,
on. Can't sit there and feel sorry for ourselves. We've got to move on.
I think that's almost. Is he a profile that is you can't find?
Apparently, he'd love to be managed by Klopp, is what we're hearing. So,
who wouldn't?
Well, who
Klopp's
wouldn't?
a great
Yeah.
guy.
I'd love to be managed by Klopp.
So yeah, that's the latest on that.
Or get Kefren Turan, bruv, from Nice. I've watched them a couple of times. Very nice.
A couple times, maybe a bit more needed, but yeah. Madrid, not a place for young talents. You tweeted actually something brilliant the other day. You said Fede Valverde prepared to be a right back because they have Camavinga, Tchouameni, Bellingham, and Valverde that can all play in that central position. Modric's probably going to stay another year. Kroos is probably.
No, he signed the new 1-year renewal.
Oh, there you go then. So I'm not too sure where he plays if he starts.
But Valverde is very key to how Real Madrid play.
Yeah.
So
the problem,
I get why he said that.
On the right
the thing is for me, he's one of those guys I feel like that's willing to play anywhere for the club.
He will,
and when he previously has slotted in that right back, he previously has slotted in that right wing.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'm like, and the same way Camavinga, you're not
left back.
Don't think left back you're going to get away from that next season. I know everyone's saying they want to push him to midfield, but those two will get utilised in other positions for sure.
But even them playing in them positions, they're still inverted fullback.
Oh yeah. I said the way they can balance it out is if they play a back three of Militao, Rudiger, and Alaba, and then what you can do is Valverde right wing back, Camavinga left wing back, and then you play Tchouameni and Jude in the middle, and then you got Rodrigo, Vinny, and Benzema up front.
And also
almost
a lot
like
of times,
3-4-3.
you see Valverde
but they have
start,
to be wide men.
You see Valverde start as that right central mid, and when Rodrigo comes off, he pushes up to the right wing position, and then they can move it all around. So It is what it is. But MKH says McAllister is Liverpool bound. Great signing. Valverde is so good from Mr. Hotspur. Haaland's just missed again, by the way.
It's a good signing.
Another
McAllister definitely offers.
Look at this one, James, from Haaland.
Bro,
again.
Haaland is getting chances, but he's
just hit the post. He
He's not scored
literally
today.
should have had 4 goals today.
Haaland's getting 2 today.
He's not scoring today. I told you he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. He's sacrificing his own goals for the greater.
This guy does not hide.
I mean, it's just terrible defending, man. Honestly, there's skid mark defending. I think it's actually offensive to label our defending even skid mark defending now, because at least skid marks have some sort of substance to them. Our defending is literally like just a puddle of sludge. Just no substance. You can break through it with a ruler, with a plastic ruler.
Pedro Porro just had a nice effort from outside of the box for Tottenham, but it's still only 1-0 in that game as well. Let's move on now to the next topic for today. Will Manchester United bottle that top 4? Obviously, all Liverpool fans will be hoping it. The word bottle is... come around a lot recently. Robbie's denied the meaning of it, tried to create a new meaning.
Oh man, the Lau brothers.
The Lau brothers, when it comes to the word bottle, they try and create their own terms and meanings. But let's see.
But why Man United and not Newcastle? You know, they're only 2 points behind Newcastle with a really tough game this weekend.
I think we're saying that because we saw them go head-to-head a couple of weeks ago. Newcastle won. They're scoring goals for fun, and United aren't. Scoring goals.
But also, the difference is mentality. Like United still are showing us that they are quite
Where was the
inconsistent
mentality in that final? Then?
And also, like getting beaten to Brighton, for me, is just naive, isn't it? So we've not shown that this season. That's true. Whereas they have like quite a lot, and they've dropped a lot of points. For them to be 4th when they were once
dropped a lot of points, but they're only 2 points behind you.
Yeah, but they were once
could feasibly go above you within a week.
You get me? So, and now we've gone past them after our little bad patch of drawing games.
Yeah.
So for them now to be where they are, it shows you how far they've fallen off, and it shows you probably like they're not mentally where everyone thought that they were. So that's why people are targeting them and not us, because of that reason.
But have you picked up form too early, perhaps? You know, these last 3-4 games of the season, and anything can happen.
Us?
Yeah.
Bro,
Anything
next
like
season, I'm seeing my team in Champions League. It's written.
Well,
it's done.
I think you'll get it, but I think to throw Man United in there, I think you
well,
definitely
I'm
have to
saying it
throw
because
Newcastle
obviously
in.
they did drop points away at Brighton. De Zerbi said after the game that there is a football god for Brighton because he claims that they were better in both the semi-final and that game that they've just won. But got West Ham away, Wolves at home, Bournemouth away, Chelsea struggling there today, Liverpool have lost there today, Chelsea then at home, and then Fulham at home. So they are winnable games, but let's see what Flex said after that horrendous Brighton performance.
I am. I know that the task was there before this. Take 9 points from 18. That's what you got to do. You got to get half the points. That's what you got to do. You got to get 3 wins out of 6. Now it's 3 wins out of 5 we've got to get to secure it. And yes, there's 3 home games, but by the time it gets to them home games, I think Fulham's the last home game of the season. Do you want to play Fulham at home the last game of the season, having to get top 4 from the position we've been in? Do you want to play Chelsea at home knowing that they must win because there's an away game to Bournemouth that you don't fancy us in? Because I don't, because that's the position we're putting ourselves in.
Flex has gone from extremely confident to absolutely rattled outside the Amex there. 3 wins needed out of 5 to secure that top 4. What do we actually think is going to happen? Because obviously Liverpool have won 5 in a row, could be 6 in a row today. They're doing their job. But I've always remained, even up till when the Brighton result happened the other night, I reckon there's a 10% chance that Liverpool get top 4.
Too little, too late.
Oh, yeah. Bro, literally. It's too little, too late for me personally.
But will United allow them to get back in the race even more?
I feel like with Liverpool, right, don't be surprised if you guys lose today, because this has been your lot all season where you'll win a big game and then you would now go on and lose, I don't know, to Forest or something, or Bournemouth or whatever. Yeah, you've found good form, but I'm still not convinced with Liverpool, and I still don't feel like they're back to what we've seen them be previously, and I feel like it's just too little, too late. There's too many points there.
So United get 4th for you?
I think top 4 is sort of written. It's now about who finishes 3rd and 4th. I feel like Liverpool can lose to Brentford.
Well, hang on, there's a possibility that 5 teams actually get European football this year if City win the Champions League, or rather when they win the Champions League, I think they will. then that 5th spot is still up for grabs. And at the table, actually, Spurs could be in with an outside shot. Could be in with a very, very outside shot. Depends on Liverpool. Do you see Liverpool carrying any kind of momentum into these last 4 games?
Well, let me tell you the games we've got left. So it's Brentford at home tonight. It's Leicester away next Monday, which tough game considering the state that they find themselves in. They need the 3 points. And then it's Aston Villa at home. Yeah. Never an easy game. Yeah. And then it's Southampton away last day of the season. They could already be down by then. I think that's kind of fair to say that they will be. But listen, it's 5 wins in a row. We haven't done that at all this season. And I think not many people thought that this Liverpool team right now could put together a run like that. If we win today, it becomes 6. Yeah. Can you go on to make it 7, 8, 9? And then you're setting yourself up nicely for next season. But if we do finish 5th, and Man City win the Champions League,
that's brilliant. Yeah, then happy days.
But Brighton is still in there as well. Technically, if Brighton won every game
for 100%, look at Brighton.
They would be in the Champions League.
32 games played, they could even get there as well. Unbelievable.
AGT, your fixtures, I feel like it helps you out, and I feel like your hardest game is Brentford.
We always finish well.
Villa, I feel like they're starting to see them not fall off a little bit, but they're not playing as well as they once were. And they maxed out, a little bit. And then who, Saint, you said?
Aston Villa at home and Brighton and Southampton away last game.
Exactly. So Saints away, that's a win there. So I feel like your toughest game is the one today at Brentford. At home.
At home, yeah. So if you are keen on seeing the fan cams on the COP TV after that game, Mario will be doing them, and myself and Doyle will be doing an instant match reaction live on the channel too. After this, we will have team news very, very shortly from Anfield 2 as well, by the way. We're just over an hour away from kickoff there. Still 1-1 at Bournemouth, still 2-0. Man City leads somehow. I don't know how Haaland hasn't scored yet. Saying that.
He's coming, man.
Saying that. Didn't quite reach him there. Still Tottenham 1-0 at home to Crystal Palace.
On the M25 than I have
Wolves 1, Aston Villa 0 as well. James's analogies never cease to amaze me. Only Liverpool and City can go on winning runs, says Duncan. That's not true. We've seen the likes of
Newcastle.
We've even seen the likes of Brentford put together like an undefeated 10-game stretch in this season as well. City might be holding back a little, says Mastry. Haaland should be charged for match fixing after today.
He's just backing the boys, man. He's backing the boys. He hasn't put any money on it. It's all right. Yeah, they're checking a possible
penalty
foul
here
at the Bournemouth
but
game.
I don't think it's going to be given.
They haven't given it.
Free kick here for De Bruyne. Great position. He will go for the cross.
Still in the pitch, man.
And Joel Robles takes the ball with ease.
You need a goal, and you've brought flipping Sam Greenwood on. What is he thinking?
Not a fan of Greenwood?
No, Sam Greenwood's done nothing all year. He scored 1 great goal against Bournemouth. Aside from that, the guy's about as consistent as pigeon shit on Trafalgar Square. He's absolutely no
That's
end
very
product.
Consistent, though.
Consistently average, consistently shit is what it is, because that's what he's been. The guy, look at that, man. What's he do? You see what I mean? Who's he aiming for there? Someone in the crowd, maybe. I don't know why he's brought him on. He's brought Crisorcio Sauceville III on. You know all about him. He's someone that could actually get us something in this game, but his changes right now are not impressing me. I cannot lie.
Yeah, but that's your squad, though, bro. Like,
no, it's not.
Who else you have?
Rodrigo, Rutter. Get them on there. We need goals.
Rodrigo's
Rutter.
Injury prone.
Barsadam says, will Poet ever get the credit for the metaphors and bantering that all these YouTube pundits have copied? I think he's calling you a poet.
Me? Oh, thank
you. Ask the Leeds fan what he thinks of the 3 American players, says Box of Oranges 84.
The 3 amigos, the 3 false amigos. Like I said, one of them, waste of space McKennie, get him out instantly. The guy is bang average. He doesn't give 2 shits about us. He's not bang average, that's harsh, but he doesn't give 2 shits. The guy doesn't want to move. I've seen more movement in a still image than I have from him. He's half asleep half the time. Brendan Aronson, like I said, Rizzler paper. The man is made of Rizzler paper. 1 knock and he's gone, blown in the wind. And Tyler Adams, the best of the lot, actually our best midfielder and arguably our best player all year, has been injured. So one of them's worked out phenomenally. and the other two have been.
He's having a bit of a push and a shove with Haaland right now. Is McKennie as they defend another set piece. Which
I'm hoping if I
whips
slag him off enough, he'll actually do something.
Saved on the line from Robles. Let's go and see how Liverpool and Brentford line up today in this massive clash.
Jota's injured, isn't it?
Just an hour away from kick-off there at Anfield.
Jota, he's injured,
Jota had a bit of a back injury from that knee in the back that he got from Soufal. West Ham away. Sorry.
He said good.
I didn't say that.
He said good.
Celebrating another man's demise.
Did I think that or did I say
another
that?
man's injury.
I said that when Oliver Skip was on the floor holding his head as well, so don't worry about that.
Wow, no need for this.
But Jota is playing.
He's playing
today. He does come back for Liverpool today. The team is Alisson, Fabinho, Van Dijk. Oh, this is all over the place, this thing. So it's Alisson, Trent, Robertson, Van Dijk, Konate in the midfield, Fabinho, Jones, and Gakpo, and then up front, Jota and Nunez and Salah. So Gakpo playing as a number 10 today. So it's Gakpo, Jota, Nunez and Salah all playing today. Wow. He's basically a 4-2-4,
He's taking out Elliott and he's putting...
Essentially,
taking out Elliott.
Elliott was one of your best players I thought last week as well.
Yeah, for sure. And then Brentford go with Raya, Hickey, Henry, Pinnock, Jensen, Zanka, Onyeka, me, Tony and Buemo and Janelt as well. So let us know how you feel about Liverpool really going for it today.
Where do you see Ivan Toney going next year? Do you see him staying at Brentford?
Nowhere. Because of his ban.
No way, man.
No.
If a big club doesn't...
His ban. So,
might turn people away.
That he's 6 months ban, it kills him. Without that, I feel like he can go... But
will Brentford not want to get rid of him potentially cheaper then?
I've heard Arsenal fans say they'd love to have him. They'd start him up front over Jesus.
Oh, of course. If they had Ivan Toney right now, they'd be top of the league.
But this ban is looming, and I think once that gets slapped on him, it's going to be impossible for big teams to buy him.
I
But
think that's probably
Brentford
a smart time to
trying
buy
to get rid of him?
I think, as you said, Arsenal, if they're looking for extra firepower, I'm looking at that and saying, oh, he's on a ban. We'll take him, but we'll give you a 35 million if you like.
That's what
and then they'll have to take that in all honesty. But I think if I'm him, I look for a move, and I think if I'm other clubs, I tempt it anyway because he's a proven player as well.
He's cold.
He's a goal scorer. I think he's more than just a goal scorer as well. Even when he's not scoring, I think he actually contributes to the team's build-up, and his link-up play is incredible as well. So I definitely
one of the most complete forwards in the league.
Yeah, he's someone. Even as a Spurs fan, after Kane leaves, come true, bro.
And apparently that ban, it takes it into account summer as well. So the months where he's not playing, if he's found guilty, it takes those months into account. So
they've been holding it off until the season's done, and then possibly get 2 months out of that season.
I mean, I can't believe
it could be more. We could be looking at 8 months. We don't know.
They'll have enough money to get rid of it. I mean, I can't believe Man United haven't gone in for him or seriously gone in for him. If
they probably will.
They're sufficing with Weghorst up front. They had a player like Ivan Toney leading the line. I think he's perfect for them. Yeah, like you say, he's got good hold-up play, great link-up play, and he's quick. He can play on the counter-attack. So if they want to use that quick counter-attacking style that United were meant to be famed for, I think he works in every kind of style that they'd want to use. He's the perfect signing for them for me. But Harry Kane would be another interesting replacement.
They got Weghorst in January, isn't it? So I doubt Tony's going to
I know, but I mean, even before that in the summer, I'm surprised they haven't put more of a big push in for him.
But I do agree. I do feel like Tony will be a good second option to Harry Kane. If they can't get Kane, I'll say...
I think he'd be a better option than Harry Kane for them. Not to say he's a better player, but for the style they want to use and the versatility that it gives them, I think personally he's a better option.
Let us know what you think to that one in the comments as well.
Ben Chilwell's injured again.
Liverpool playing 4 forwards, says Duncan, with a lot of fire emojis there. Chelsea Fan TV and Meltdown, says James Wright. We got revenge on Leeds, Forest. Brentford is the next team we get revenge on, says MKH. Obviously, Brentford did smash Liverpool 3-1 earlier in the season. And I think I was on here for that, and it was not a good day. Fuad still salty after Sunday. I saw him crying when Cams was laughing at him, says Andrew Green.
Hey, man, the game is the game. You know what I mean?
Charge it to the game, man.
Charge it.
Charge it.
Never take it personal.
Tony is younger too, says Matrix. as well. Fuad, you don't understand how Brentford work. They don't take the 50% fee for Tony. They'll just wait for him to serve the ban and then get 100% of the 70 mil fee.
Took it so
Says
literal. I'm being hypothetical, mate. Yeah, use your fucking common sense. Yeah. Of course. Brentford aren't going to take a cut price 35 million. We're just talking hypotheticals of what could happen potentially.
Yep. Aspilicueta now on the pitch for the injured Chilwell. Madueke coming off as well for Chelsea. 15 minutes to go. He had a big chance that he hit into the side netting. I don't know if you saw that earlier.
I saw. But like, he's been the bright spark. But Chelsea are done, man. They don't have an idea of how they want to play. You know, they're just players play.
Yeah, but then what do you expect? It's Frank Lampard, mate. He doesn't have a tactic. He doesn't have a style. He makes Ole Gunnar Solskjaer look like Pep Guardiola.
But it's not just Lampard's fault. But I get what you're saying.
Big factor. It's a big factor.
I blame Putin, by the way.
Having no style.
It's his fault.
Who?
Putin.
AGT has better style than Frank Lampard's managerial career. Than Chelsea.
That's not really a compliment, is it? Cheers, mate. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about this one, shall we?
I actually like the jumper, to be fair.
Cheers, mate. I'll start that one again. Who is the Premier League's best ever free transfer? Been talking a lot about this on the COP TV the other day after the news that James Milner is going to Brighton. Won every trophy there is to win at Liverpool in 8 years. Didn't cost us a penny. But I want to go for every Premier League team and give you their alleged best free signing ever, and then we can debate ourselves. Arsenal, Sol Campbell. Again, 2 Premier League titles. Scored in the Champions League final as well. For Arsenal, Aston Villa, Thomas Hitzelsberger. That's a decent shout. 13 goals for them in 110 appearances. Bournemouth, Josh King. Again, we're just going through all the teams. Brentford, Christian Eriksen. I think that's a good shout. Brighton, Bruno, who is now at Chelsea, who was the recent interim manager against Liverpool. Chelsea, Ruud Gullit.
First trophy in 27 years.
Also, Michael Ballack and Gus Poyet, both frees for Chelsea as well. Palace, Mile Jedinak.
Yeah, club captain,
you
club
know,
legend.
Been there for a while. Everton, Gareth Barry.
Legend.
Yeah, most Premier League appearances, which James Milner could overtake if he carries on playing, by the way.
How many more games does James Milner
40 games, I think he needs.
40 games.
I think he's just past 600, Millie has, so... 653 is the record.
How old is he?
Milner.
37.
Yeah. To be 37 and move from one Premier League team to another is unbelievable.
He's going Brighton.
What position you are.
And let's not
That's what I'm saying.
mistake the fact he burst onto the scene when he was like 16, 17
Played
years
against
old.
Leeds for Newcastle
played
at
for
2000.
Leeds,
Played for Leeds in 2002.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. He played with Clark for Leeds. Now he's played with Clark's son for Liverpool.
Who's Clark?
Leighton Clark.
That's mad.
Obviously, his dad was a bit of a legend up at Newcastle as well. Fulham, Mark Schwarzer, good goalkeeper, very good goalkeeper. A lot of appearances in the Premier League. Leeds, Luciano Becchio.
Yes.
Or Pablo Hernandez, Harry Kewell.
League One times. I mean, Harry Kewell, if you're talking quality of player, or arguably Pablo Hernandez for what he's done for us in the Championship. And we actually still haven't replaced his creativity. Guy is silkier than a spider's excrement. Who would you say is Leeds' best? Out of those three, Harry Kewell always leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. So I'm gonna have to go Pablo Hernandez.
Okay.
Although I do have a lot of love for Luciano Becchio.
Pause, by the way. Pause.
No. He meant that.
Yeah. No need to pause. Leicester City, Mark Albrighton. It's a good shout. 218 Premier League games. Won the Premier League. Won the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Great shout.
He's aight.
Liverpool, definitely James Milner. Rock for Liverpool over the years. I would actually go as far as saying I think he is the best free of all time because of all the different trophies that he's won within that period. But to be the captain, and also I would say he's the best professional that the Premier League has ever seen. In terms of how he looks after himself, his fitness, he wins the bleep test every year in pre-season at Anfield. That's why he keeps getting 1 year extension.
Man said he's the best because he wins the bleep test every year. Bro, you're too biased.
You're biased, bro. You're biased, innit? You're biased,
professional.
No, but
played that many games for that long.
Sol's ahead of him, bro.
Sol Campbell's ahead of him.
No,
and I lost Sol Campbell.
It's a different
you
question.
You said best 3.
I'm asking you, name other professionals in terms of the longevity.
But what we're talking about
in the Premier League for that long.
What we're doing there is the best free transfer, and you said
no, but this is a different question.
No, but you said James Milner is the best free transfer.
In my opinion, yeah.
That's biased, bro. That is,
in my opinion, yeah, 100%.
I feel like
he's won the most trophies
and
as
you're
a
basing
free
that basically
transfer.
off of his professionalism and things like that.
No, I'm saying for him still to be playing at the peak of his powers at 38, still captaining Liverpool a lot of the time as well, to still be going at that age, just about. He started a lot of games.
Are you saying
he's transferred to Liverpool only, or I don't want to gas it up?
Are you saying he's transferred to Liverpool, or was he on a free transfer elsewhere, like at City or Villa? No, did they buy him at City?
Yeah.
They bought him, so
this is
to Liverpool.
free for Liverpool, yeah.
I don't know, man. I think the impact Sol Campbell had. I've got to go with Sol Campbell there. And I think also the quality of the player that Sol Campbell was at that time, he was one of the best centre-backs in England and arguably the world after that. So for me, I think I'll definitely lean towards that. But I do agree. For years of service and things like that, if you're talking professionalism, Milner's definitely up there.
That was my second question. Like, in terms of professionalism, who's been better than him? In Harry Kane. Never any headlines. Yeah, but Harry Kane's not 37. When Harry Kane's 37, we can clearly say it's him. But right now, I'm saying to play for, again, in 2002,
that's why he's known as boring James
Man City have just got a penalty, though, as well here.
I told you Hans won't score.
Oh, what you mean? That's a penalty.
And
it's you've got to be yanking like Johnson, man. He's barely touched him.
Would you not say Henderson?
Henderson more professional than Milner.
We're basically talking about players that don't drink, look after themselves.
Boring
the
guys,
absolute
the Rybenas.
Maximum, who are on the Rybenas. I think Milner's top 3 in terms of Gareth Barry's up there as well. David James maybe.
What?
Not in actually.
Haaland's off.
In terms of appearances up there. But David James was definitely not professional. He used to smoke 26. Gundogan to score a hat trick here, by the way, against Leeds with this penalty.
I'm actually going to rip my eyes out.
Man City, Scott Carson is the only one that they've put down. Never played. I think he's played once or twice. So that's
speaking about
rude Milner to Scott Carson. It's mad. Still though, the only Champions League winner in that.
Chelsea just scored.
Man City scored.
Badiashile
has made it 2-1 to Chelsea. The score I actually predicted.
I'm telling you,
I did predict this.
I love this guy, Benoit Badiashile.
Let's have a look at this Gundogan penalty.
He's missing. He's
what
I tell you, son?
Is it the post?
We're in it. We're in it.
Was
to
it
win
a save from Joel
This
Robles?
is it. Title charge is coming.
He's bottled it.
This score should have been 6-7-0, bro.
Nah, mate. I'm
2-0.
telling you, as a wise Jermaine Genius once said, things are happening. Things are happening.
Bro, you're losing, bro.
He said it when you were coming back against Ajax.
No, it wasn't a save. It hit the post straight. It wasn't a save, I don't think.
It was maybe fingertip. Oh no, he saved it there. It came off the post and he saved it with his right hand. Things are happening. We're coming back.
You have to take it. You have to take it. Erling, you have to take it.
That's what I'm saying. He's got to take it.
He was on a hat trick though.
I like that. Nah,
so
that's a manager setting the boundaries. He's saying, "I've made you the penalty taker. I don't care about man's hat trick.
He's got to take that.
I'm here to win a game.
He's got to take that.
I respect that.
Yeah,
I thought he was off.
He's not listening to his
playing.
boundaries there. Chance, Rodrigo!
That's
a goal! That's a goal for Leeds!
Things are happening! Rodrigo Moreno, the greatest striker in Premier League history, is back from his broken leg, and Leeds are back in business. Rodrigo on the shirt, Rodrigo on the score sheet. That's why you bring him on. Big Sam.
Wow, what a moment that was from Gundogan. Misses a penalty.
What a finish,
and then less than 30 seconds later,
saucier than Nando's.
From Akanji. That is a howler from Akanji.
Picks his pockets.
Moreno with a really, really accomplished finish to make this a really nervy ending now for City.
Mate, look at that. More pressure than a hard-on in skinny jeans there by Rodrigo, and he finishes it with a plum.
He massive last 5 minutes here at the Etihad. Big Sam with a little celebration. We also brought you the news that Benoit Badiashile on the 82nd minute, a scrappy header over the line, but they all count. 2-1 to Chelsea. Can they hold on for the next 10 minutes plus injury time to get these 3 points at the Vitality? Tottenham still holding on from that Harry Kane goal in the 45th minute +1 in the first half. Can they see out the first 15 minutes? But Chelsea have made it an even better situation now for them.
It's all
Bournemouth
popping up
were
now.
attacking, but Chelsea have gone up the other end, and they look to have certainly sealed this one now. And it's João Felix with the goal off the bench to take them 3-1 up, Fuad, away at Bournemouth.
Might be his first touch, that. Literally just come on.
Could be.
And it was after some Bournemouth
What a
pressure
touch
as
it
well.
was.
Lampard, he needed that, bro. He needed that win or this result
Listen,
here.
if
happening,
City crumble here, man, I'm going to be...
They ain't crumb, mate. Things are happening. Genius called it a long time ago, mate.
Erling, you have to take that.
I'm excited now. I'm excited now.
I would be
This is
if
it.
I was a Leeds fan as well,
This is it.
with
It's our moment.
5 minutes plus injury time to go.
Here we go.
Gundogan.
Hey, couple of red
that's a bit
cards
of a
there. What's
foul.
going on, man?
See,
Bare
that's what you
elbows
need
flying.
to do. Just hold on the
6 of
entire
one, half
game
a
and
dozen
come
of
back.
the other. Let's bring you Felix's goal. Let's get a reaction to this. As you said, Fuad, just come on. The build-up from Chelsea is quite nice. They're working it on the left-hand side. Let's have a look at the finish as it comes through to us now here in the DR Sports studios on this fine Game Week 35 show. If you are watching, there is over 2,000 of you now, and we're still not even at 500 likes.
Smash!
That's a disgrace! Yeah. Make sure you press that like button as well.
Take the piss, you know?
Yeah, well, yeah. We should have way more for that many people that are watching.
It's good play though. Sterling, it's good play, man, and a good finish.
It's a good
brilliant
finish. The two lads that were on the bench there combining. Felix showing his name to Bournemouth fans in 12th place. Yeah.
If you get like this team playing, actually get them a style of play, you know, get them to understand what they're doing.
Well, they're going to win today.
They'll be good.
They are going to win away at Bournemouth today. 3-1 now.
I watched them play against West Ham when Potter was there, right? And I could see where Chelsea were going. Like, you know, they have the quality, but I feel like now they've just lost their way. But if you bring in a coach who knows how to get the best out of these players and has a consistent team, not always chopping and changing it, they'll be good. But
James is a nervous wreck here, as you can see inside the studio.
You can smell that goal coming. You can taste it.
They're smelling danger, though, Leeds are.
That's a good goal.
Mate, look at mate.
They're doing a bit of a
We
high
are in
press
there
right
like
now.
swimwear, baby. Look at that. Rodrigo. He's gagging for that goal.
Raheem.
I do apologise for the amount of sexual
not in that
metaphors
you
that James is
didn't have to
making
put
today.
it. Didn't have to put it that way. You know, you didn't have to twist my words.
Wow. Yeah. You've twisted them yourself without me needing to, mate. But anyway, massive last 5 minutes. Here's Leeds on the attack again. Rodrigo, can he find Firpo?
Senior
Walker does
daddy
well.
tears. Best left back over this past couple of months.
No worries. Still 1-0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Will they hold on? Arsenal getting giddy, says FJT in the chat right now. Come on, Big Sam. Yep. Come on, Big Sam, says Buffalo Soldier. Lampard in, says Happy Human. Lampard new 9-year contract, says Beth Jenkins in the chat. Come on, Leeds, says Darren AFC.
We're going to do Arsenal.
We've got our 40 points today, says Loby. Go on, Leeds, says Saksham.
Arsenal will win the league. Mark my words, like Upson.
Okay. All right, let's get back to best Premier League free signings of all time. We're halfway through the list. Man United, Zlatan. Is that a good shout?
Oh, that's an amazing shout.
Yeah. Free transfer
Won him
he was.
League Cup by himself.
Essentially, was also a winner of the Europa League with them at United
my boy
as well.
Mkhitaryan scored in the final.
It is literally 2 minutes into added time here at Tottenham. Still hanging on. Let's get through these as well. Demba Ba, 29 goals and 58 appearances for the Magpies after 18 months there, after joining on a free from West Ham after their relegation.
Yeah.
Very good free signing indeed. Yeah. Southampton, Paul Tefler. Forest, Andy Reid. Telfer, sorry, yeah. Tottenham, Brad Friedel. 310 consecutive games for Tottenham.
Yeah, I remember. Good soldier he was. Paul Robinson years, they were messy. And then he came in and kind of steadied the ship afterwards.
He did. Teddy Sheringham for West Ham. It's a good shout.
No, but
Jack Wilshere as well. Zabaleta. Alvaro Arbeloa.
Still, innit? So it was quite older, didn't it?
Still scored 20 championship goals at the age of 38 to get them back in the Premier.
And that was with Marlon Harewood, if I'm not mistaken. I remember them too.
Who I've actually played football with. He was shit. Marlon Harewood. I played that Millwall match and I put one in the channels for him and he looked at me like, I'm not running for that.
I would love
Bro, man's playing balls into the channels for retired footballers. pass appreciation, yeah.
It
You
was
got
a
to know the
lovely
players
pass.
you're playing with. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
he's-
man wanted to feet, man.
Two
Man saw a
feet,
big
two
retired
feet,
player and said,
two
"Oi,
feet."
in the channels, off
No,
you." Come on,
facts,
man.
facts.
That's you. That's on
Facts,
you.
bro.
I'd be looking at you, man.
That's
like,
on you, bro.
You think I'm running for that?
Listen,
Nah,
he got it
to
into feet the next time, and he still messed
The worst
up.
thing was,
so
even
don't
when he
worry
was a
about
Premier
that.
League player, he weren't
That's
running
like-
into channels.
That's like playing
I know.
playing that pass to Alan Shearer at 36, 37.
Brother, he's gonna be looking at you like,
Yeah,
brother.
he did.
No, it was
Nah,
more
man.
of a through ball, less.
Hey,
But,
do you know what
but
that
away
was? That
from
was
him.
him trying to flex his passing range. Like, look at me, Xabi Alonso. Am I lying?
I loved it. It's mad. No, it was a very much an Alonso type pass, though. I can't lie. I actually played 8-a-side last night. Absolutely loved it, man. Beautiful stuff. 92 minutes gone at the Vitality. It looks like Chelsea come away with all 3 points here. Massive 3 points for them. Takes them to 42. But there is still some time to go at the Etihad. James, head in hands right now. There's also 1 minute to go at Wolves. Can they beat Aston Villa? That would be a massive result if it stays the same. And of course, the other game is still 1-0 to Tottenham as well. But with 2 minutes to go, can Leeds pull off the unimaginable?
Oh, and of
Weston
course not with
McKennie
Weston
has lost
McKennie on the ball. Of course,
out.
you can't do anything, mate.
There we
what's
go.
he?
He can do that.
Oh,
He
you
can
get him.
do
What are you
that.
booting
And
the
then he
ball
kicks
away
the ball
for?
away.
This guy, man, get him off the pitch. Get him off.
Could have got a
already.
red for the foul and kicking the ball away, if I'm honest.
Oh,
What
what's
happens when
he
you have a beard that don't
chesting
connect?
it for? Oh.
Everyone's
just
beard
about
connects,
connects,
bro.
Just about does, bro.
Just about still.
Barely. I don't know about that one.
Whoa, what do you mean
I have to
barely?
inspect that one a bit
Connecting to
closer
where,
now.
huh? More connection than BT 4G.
That ain't good.
You want 5G, bro?
Gundogan coming off.
Gundogan coming off after he's disgraced himself by missing that penalty to deny himself a hat-trick. Wolves have beaten Aston Villa. Massive 3 points for
Damn.
Lopetegui as he celebrates right in front of the director's seat saying, "Vamos!" Kissing his loved ones in the director's box up there at Molineux. Massive 3 points and a clean sheet for Wolves as well, by the way. Big shout out to them. It looks like Man City are going to get over the line just against Leeds United. They've put a real fight in this second half, have the Whites. Rodri on to lock things up, says Duncan. Dane says James has the best analogies. Big up to you. We're still waiting for the full-time whistle to go. In these other 3 Premier League games, it's very tense. Very tense indeed.
I feel like they want.
James is
It's the
hanging
hope
on
that
here.
kills you.
It
I
is
feel
the
like they
hope
want
that
Palace to
kills you.
equalise,
It
man.
is really the hope that kills you, mate.
No, I think it's like the refs want Palace to equalise. I'm sure we played way more than 2 minutes at a time. Why is the whistle not gone in that Spurs game?
We're still going, people. It's still
Totti.
not over.
That point about
Any late drama?
If City win Champions League and then obviously 5th place gets Champions League, I feel like that's actually true, and I didn't think about that. So Liverpool and Spurs, they're going at it, and obviously
They got 2 points ahead and a game in hand.
But the pressure
That's
is now
hoping
back
that-
on Liverpool because Tottenham have just gone ahead of Liverpool again. So if Liverpool win today, they take that.
We've
fifth
lost
spot
12
driving
games this
seat.
year. Do we deserve Champions League football?
Tottenham full time, 3 points in the bag.
Hold on,
At
boys.
home to Palace, Harry Kane scores the winner, and Ryan Mason celebrates with his staff there as they get their 3 points in the bag. Wearing the club shop hoodie, we love to see it. Shaking hands with Roy Hodgson, who again has done his job by keeping Palace in the league. We're still going. Oh no, it's full time. It's finally full time at the Etihad. It's 2-1. It's finished. James in the mud. Will Leeds be going down? Well, Rashan says, I hope Leeds get relegated with the super chat in the comments there.
He's
Come
paid
on,
just
City,
to say
says
that.
David. He has. James has one good analogy in every 5, but just has a lot of them, says AW. It's like throwing shit at a wall. Something will stick.
Yeah.
You will get
know?
a banger.
Exactly. Every now and again, you will pull out
Perhaps.
an absolute
Perchance.
screamer of an analogy, and we love it, mate. City win again, says Baker. They are winning like it's normal. This is what they do towards the end of April and the start of May. What would you...
Pep is not happy, man.
Pep's
Look at
not
his
happy
face.
considering...
That game should have been 4-5-0 out of sight.
Oh.
And
What
look
are you
at Sam
laughing
Allardyce
for,
laughing.
Sam, man? What are you laughing
You know what
for?
it is? Sam Allardyce knows
He's got him rattled.
He almost
rattled
shithoused
Pep.
him.
He rattled Pep there.
He almost shithoused him. He's like, you know you got away with one.
He doesn't
there,
like
Pep."
it, does he? He doesn't like it. Haaland did not score in this game, but missed
Haaland
5
missed
massive
4-5,
chances.
then giving a penalty to
How
Gundogan. Pep is gonna slap his chin tomorrow.
Yeah, that's too nice, bro.
Metaphorically,
Take that, bro. Like, that's mine.
We are still waiting for the final score at. No, wait, is that all of them done?
All of them done now.
All of them are done. All of them are done. 007 avoided, says Mainak Das. No 007, says Ratista. Gundogan was poor. He should have let Haaland take it as well. And Spurs are below Liverpool, says MKH. Are they?
City go 4 points clear. Now Arsenal need to win tomorrow.
Yep, have to get them 3 points. AGT hearing the deal has been agreed between clubs from McAllister. Any update, says Sarang. Just keep an eye out for it. I wouldn't hasten to make that deal completed before it's time, but all good things come to those who wait. City could have done 6 goals, says Ilya D's Nuts. Good name. Lampard in, says Vincent. Let's check for if I've missed any super chats. I apologise if I have. LJ Brown says, when you look into Fuad's eyes, it's like Levy took his soul, like the monsters took the NBA players in Space Jam.
Okay, I guess.
Strange analogy, but again, we'll go with it. James is just gutted here, head in hands, seeing his team have a real spirited second half, clapping the fans.
Really makes me happy.
That's the most quiet it's been.
Zooming
on
stream.
Level
on points with Forest.
Yeah,
it's not looking good
So
for Leeds.
who actually goes down for you, man?
Leeds, guaranteed.
You reckon, yeah?
Guaranteed. I can't wait. It's going to be a celebration at DR. I think Everton, unfortunately, they don't have enough quality.
Yeah.
The eyes that James has just given you then. Yeah, his eyes could kill.
Southampton, yeah, that was the other one.
You're
Yeah.
a bad-minded individual.
No, I can't wait for you lot to go down. I can't wait.
So-
Nonto, come on, man. We got cherry pick. What,
Cherry
Southampton,
picking,
we going cherry picking. Leeds, we're going cherry picking. Everton, keep everybody.
Yeah,
keep everybody, please. We don't want none of your cherries.
Stale things. A double Ronson throwing his shirt into the crowd.
Go grow your hair, man. Get proper hair, man, or something, man.
It's about the most useful thing he's done all
They
game.
try to do some American Revolution in the Premier League. Listen, this ain't no soccer things, bro.
It's different.
Yeah, real football. Yeah.
Trust me.
Should have when you.
No, it would have been all right if they didn't add McKennie into the mix.
Nah. You lot try to do this Jesse Marsh. Let's bring America.
Ted Lasso.
You lot try to bring.
I asked to bring Jesse Marsh in. Aronson was all right. Tyler Adams was very good.
Now you're drowning. You're turning your back on them.
I ain't turning my back on nobody, but it was a failed thing. Why we ever sacked Bielsa in the first place? I don't know. I would never have sacked him. He's the best manager in footballing history, and you sack him like that.
No, but he's had to go, though.
He's the best manager I've ever seen in my life, for sure.
Crap, and never won anything in his life.
That's not true.
And
he won a league title literally 3 years ago. So.
League what?
He won a league title 3 years
second
ago. How many
division
league titles have you
The
won?
second
How many
division.
league titles have you seen in your club when you're alive?
Yo,
That's what I
how
thought,
many
mate.
titles?
How many league titles have you?
Definitely more than Leeds.
What, in your lifetime?
Definitely more than Leeds.
You've seen them in your lifetime.
You didn't ask lifetime.
Yeah, I
You
did.
said
I literally did say that.
Oh,
Thank you.
I've seen none in my lifetime. But have you seen
any league titles?
Yeah, I won league titles. No, you have. I know you have.
But I'm not.
I've seen league titles.
But
Bielsa's lifted league titles.
No. But this is what I'm saying.
In colour, what have you won?
I respect it because you've seen a championship, but you're not.
This is all I got, mate. That's all I got. I ain't got. You guys are spoiled here. What have I got? What have I got, mate?
To shut you out next year.
Mate, I was gassed just to watch Match of the Day. I was gassed to watch Match of the Day. So if I have to re-download EFL on Quest, I will gouge my eyeballs out.
Bro, I hate you because I've been there.
says Fuad that old.
Twice. I've been there twice.
Yeah.
I've been down, innit?
Yeah,
So-
how about going to League One, mate?
Yeah,
When you're in
yeah,
League One, wow.
I hear it, man.
Imagine the ecstasy of getting promoted from a league, only to get promoted into the utter shit show that is the Championship. Imagine the tragedy of that, of being in League One.
You deserve that.
Bro,
What do I
How you
deserve?
gas up Leeds? You deserve it.
Yeah, because imagine, why am I not going to enjoy it, man? I've had 3 years that I can remember in Premier League football.
Every other Leeds fan, blame him. He's the
No,
one.
fair
For how
enough.
he
I'll
lies
take
on the
that.
team, how he lies on the manager, how he lies on the
Oh,
club.
forgive me for
Props
being
them
an
up, yeah?
optimist.
No.
Forgive
it's not
me for
optimist,
showing
it's
love to my
delusional,
boys.
Yeah? They're supporting your club and then there's delusional.
The
That,
league's
my
tied.
friends, has been delusion.
No,
Yeah?
but
No,
and
I don't
delusion
believe
is now going to sink you to the ground, and I can't wait to hit that, see that brick goal.
No, but James, though,
Yeah.
I don't believe you believe half the things.
I mean, I've called for it for myself. If Spurs are in this
Fuad
position,
can't
I'd
chat
love
about
for you as well,
trophy.
but-
Says she knows Miz.
Huh?
Fuad can't chat about trophies, says she knows Miz. Fuad the
least-
fraud,
at least
says
makes
Virtual
sense.
City.
Listen, if English ain't your first language, stay away from the super chats.
Wow.
I mean, you know.
I mean, can it be
Keep
coherent?
him rolling.
What the hell is
Keep him rolling
Miz?
now. The Miz, he's a great wrestler. He's actually he's on the show
great?
tonight.
Is he great though?
Fuad on Demon
This is what I'm
Times.
saying.
says
They're calling
Derek.
the Miz great.
This
Yeah.
guy, James,
Oh,
needs
man.
to allow it. Let's end the show in a positive way, guys. We've had a really
Okay.
good show.
Leeds are going down.
You know, let's make sure that we are all nice to each other. But no, listen, it's been a brilliant Saturday football show again. Chelsea have won. Any of our predictions come in?
No.
Nah.
Unfortunately for me.
No, none.
And
Yeah,
unfortunately for you.
None still.
Not a single one.
I did say Tottenham would win, though. I did say 2-1. didn't
Yeah, 2-1 I did say as well.
I did
but,
say Chelsea would win 2-1 as well. Not the score right, but anyway, 3 points
City we said
nonetheless.
4-0, but Haaland decided today to have a day off.
Absolutely. Right. Liverpool are playing in 29 minutes, so make sure you watch that. There's no watch along, but there is COP TV reaction from inside the ground and outside it as well, with myself and Doyle and Mario. Massive shout out to Big Uggs on the show today. Big trip up north for him tomorrow. Hoping he can get an Arsenal defeat for the second year in a row. Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate
Thank you, bro.
It was good having you on.
Gosh.
Pleasure.
As always, massive shout out to James Toon for coming on. Your team almost did the business today.
Boo again.
James is on DR Sports again at 2 a.m. watching the boxing.
Yeah.
It's Canelo
Well, it's
Alvarez
gonna be a late
versus
one.
John Ryder.
So
Bro,
make sure you're there.
Get some sleep, man.
To back the boys. Yeah, I will.
Get some
I'll
sleep.
be
get
crying
some
into the
sleep.
pillow for that one. And of course, Fuad, as always, brilliant performance from him.
And give a shout out to yourself, the host of the month.
Thank you, mate.
AGT.
I'll take
The
it.
biased AGT. You're so biased, bro. It's mad. It's
Relax
so mad.
yourself. Yeah,
it's
no
part of the
invite
game,
for Uggs again next week. All right, cheers.
It's part of the game.
Listen, massive shout out to all of these guys behind me on the panel. But if you're watching this, make sure just before you go, you do press that like button. You do comment with your thoughts on the show. Always we're open to feedback as well if you want to see some more bits and bobs on the show. And just before we go, GP Super Chat says Arsenal haven't won the Premier League since the PS2 era. Press that subscribe button. We'll see you next week. Take
You're a
care.
bad guy.
Sunday, 8 p.m.
Miami Grand Prix.
We are having a party.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got Sand, we've got Sam. I'm Sam.
We've got all of us in the studio. It's going to be a great night.
We're ready to go, and we'll see you there. Here at On Track GP. See you.